flying up to Graham. Sensational catch.
Open man diving. He's got it. He's got it. How do you like that?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Plymouth Meeting High School here in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. Don Boyle, Tony Leonardo alongside. We'll be going field side as Charisma McElwain is down below. We'll chat with Charisma in a little bit here. But the New York Rumble in town to take on the Philadelphia Spinners on a beautiful late Saturday afternoon here, Tony. Temperature at about 70 degrees or so. Wind rather light out of the southwest at about 8 miles per hour. But, it may gust down in their field there a little bit, so I don't know how that's going to play in today's game. We always talk about the weather and the wind.
Well, we do, and there's a good reason for it because this is a pretty windy location here. Particularly, you saw a heinous game here last year, I think, when it was pretty windy. Today, not so bad. I think we'll be all right.
Looking forward to this one. Of course, for the Spinners, looking for their first win of the season for New York. They're trying to gain that respect that they belong amongst the leaders out of the East.
Well, New York found its rhythm last game against Philadelphia and then promptly gave it away. They had a 5-goal lead late in that game, late third quarter, and Philly tied it up and then took it to overtime. Double overtime. New York's got to do better than that if they want to prove that they can play here in the East.
It's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. The Spinners and the Rumble right here on MLU Live. We'll take a break. Back with more of our pregame show right after this.
Did you see that? They cut to the
The Spinners head south to tangle with DC. Can Philly shock the current? Or will Alan Kollick and friends send the Spinners home dizzy? Come out and see May 4th at 5 p.m. The Whitecaps are crashing the Eagles' nest. Can the Rumble keep their heads above water and avenge their Week 1 loss? Come out and see May 3rd at 7 p.m.
All right, nice rendition of the national anthem, Tony, as we await the appearance of both these teams down on the field. And we can talk a little bit about the strategies that both these teams will take today. You know, Billy Maroon had a chance to chat with him for just a moment. Red zone play needs to improve if the Spinners are going to have a good season.
Well, he pointed out in the last game they had 8 turnovers in the red zone, and New York had 1. So that's terrible. Let's look over here. Keys of the game for New York, the whole game. They can play a good quarter, and they can play on an awful quarter, and they've just been going back and forth. They got to play consistent the whole time. Smash them again. This is about Joe Smash Anderson. You'll see him out there. Joe Anderson, number 21 for New York. 3 Ds last game. He knows these Philadelphia guys. He feels confident. If he can get out there and get some blocks, he'll be good. Follow Saul. Well, hey, better call Saul. Ike Saul is playing fantastic last game, really broke it open. His Pittsburgh team doing well right now. This kid is a real player. If he continues to play well, they're going to do well. Philadelphia, the red zone we talked about, they have got to convert when they're 20 yards of the end zone. It's embarrassing what happened to them last game. Stop the drops. This is the problem that plagued both teams last year, especially the New York team, where they led the league, almost doubling other teams in drops. But Philadelphia lately has been a victim to not being able to catch the disc, and that, folks, is fundamental. Trey Katzenbach is back. So Trey is a real leader. I've played with him. He's a vocal guy on the field. He's really focused. He can really bring this team back into focus.
Good to see Katzenbach is back here today, one of my favorite. Let's get down to the field as Charisma alongside Matt Esser, and let's go on down.
So, Matt, you're entering this game as the Philadelphia Spinners' leading scorer with 12 points. How do you plan on maintaining that success?
Well, so it doesn't really come down to me being the leading scorer. It's definitely a team here, and, I love my stats up there, but as long as we can keep scoring, everyone keeps scoring, getting assists, getting Ds, everyone as a team, I'm happy.
We'll be happy too. Now, last week you guys had a close game and came up short against the Rumble. What do you think is going to be different about this game?
So now we're at our home where our fans are here to cheer us on. So we just want to thank everyone for coming out to the game. But the one thing we've been working on, and I think that we're going to need to really step up, is our red zone offense, and we're going to score every time we get it close.
Okay, well, good luck out there.
Thank you very much.
All right, great job down below. And, boy, I like Matt's haircut. Huh? Looks like he's razor sharp today.
He's ready with the mohawk, and let's just tell you his stats right now. He's got 12 points, 7 goals. He's caught 5 assists, 96.5% completion rate on 36 touches, and 3 blocks. So this kid from Millersville is all over the field, and we're going to see a lot of him today. Esser for Philadelphia, number 11.
Absolutely. Of course, Philadelphia won a championship a couple of years ago in the old AUDL, and, of course, tried to defend last year in the MLU, and, of course, Boston was a top team. And, boy, they really struggled over their last dozen games or so going back to last season. How do they turn it around? We talked about trying to, stop that red zone problem they've had, but really, what do they need to do overall here? Change their psyche a little bit? Is it confidence? What is it with this talented team?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. They haven't won now in 9 straight games, so they're on a 9-game losing streak dating back to last season, where they started off 3-0, right, and then lost the last 7. So it's been a while since they've tasted victory. Hard to say. Confidence is the number one thing, and what builds confidence is winning. So it's a little bit of a catch-22.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more of our pregame chatter, and, of course, the first pull of the night to get it going here as Philadelphia entertains New York right here on the MLU.
Evan Boucher is leading the Dogfish North to go head-to-head with Mark Burton and the Stags. Come out and see who reigns supreme in this Battle of the Beasts. May 3rd at 3 p.m. Evan Boucher and Danny Tridiak face off in a battle of 2 of the league's best throwers. Come see as the Dogfish take on the Rainmakers. May 4th at 1 p.m.
right, welcome right back here to Plymouth Meeting High School as we settle in for the opening pull to get it going in the green uniforms, the New York Rumble here today. Tony down to our left and to our right, the Spinners, as you can see right there in their sharp-looking blue tops with those white shorts they have on there. And there's Trey Katzenbach, the guy in the middle, a big fella, and certainly adds a leadership. So important, I think, to a team that's been struggling a little bit to find that common ground, that leader.
Well, and he's a guy that's been around the Philadelphia scene for many, many, many years, founded many of these programs around here. So definitely a guy you can count on out there. We'll see what he can do to get this team dialed in.
We'll have the first pull. It's going to come from the Rumble from left to right. Not much wind to speak of as we start this game. Low humidity here today as we're set to get it going. And
look who has the disc right now.
Yeah, is it Mazer?
It's Chris Mazer with the disc. So this is interesting. So some storylines that we are privy to and we're going to tell you about is that Chris Mazer, the 2013 MVP, who has had sort of a slow start to the season, not really high up in the categories for for the goals and assists, may be playing a little D. Might be an O-line, a handler on the D-line here, and we're seeing him pull right now. He does have a good pull. Next to him is another storyline. I believe that's Hunsaker. Quinn was a game-time decision with a neck injury, perhaps, and if he looks fine, he's going to play. So see what he can do.
It's good to see him out there, and this is a first touch here by the Spinners to get it going, and they'll travel from right to left. Nick Harronette, one of the fan favorites here. He had a quick touch. He'll get it right back now as he's covered tightly on the defensive side. And you talk about taking some of those skilled offensive players, and here's a turnover and a chance now for Mazer and company to do some work. They really want to get more offense overall, and the O needs to play some D, and the D needs to play some O, and we're seeing the D playing O right now when you talk about the Rumble.
Well, it's great to have Mazer out there just for that occasion. As Sender tries to, two drops in a row there.
And he tried to feed one in there with tight space. Went off the hand of the Rumble recipient or intended recipient on that play. That might have been Hunsaker. Now it's controlled by Nicky Harronette, and again they guard him to the inside and force that disc to move on back there a little bit to set things up there with David Bayer.
Well, whatever they're doing is not particularly getting them yardage right now.
And they had to do a nice job to go hustle after that loose disc.
A wide open huck here.
Yeah, good huck upfield and on a long run. And making the catch in stride is David Bayer. Bayer takes a look to the end zone. Now, this is where they need to cash in if you're a Spinners fan. They've really had some problems in this area.
Well, Billy Maroon, coach of the Spinners, told me they worked in practice on it for 2 straight hours. That's all they did was work on the red zone offense.
Well, let's see if they get some points, and they do, with Harronette making the catch off the Katzenbach feed.
There's Katzenbach already making his presence felt right there. Nice little dishy. Harronette going up line there. Get a little give and go. And gets it back for the score, 1-0. Good for them to avoid that early hole there because they gave the disc a drop on a kind of a high throw. Peters went up for it. Should have gotten it maybe. Tough to catch. But New York unable to capitalize, and Philly with the big hook downfield. A nice sneak out there. I think Bear really found himself wide open there, cutting out of the handle position. It seemed like there was a miscommunication on the defense there.
Well, you talk about the Spinner players he just mentioned. Boy, all the former champions here at the professional level and guys that certainly know how to play the game, and they showed their skill sets quite effectively just a moment ago. How about the Rumble not cashing in after that turnover here to start the game to jump out to the quick 1-0 lead?
Well, and that's where they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, it wasn't that hard. They had a short field, had Mazer out there. They had some good players. It should be easy. I mean, so right now, red zone, it's 0. New York's 0 for 1, and Philadelphia's 1-0. Let's see if that holds up.
Rumble, put it in play. We just saw Isaac Saul. He's a good one.
He's got a quick release on. He just really gets that disc out of his hands fast. Look at that.
Yeah, Vukovic played it back to him. There's a nice jumping catch, stumbling down. Was that Snyder?
I think it is Milo
Milo banged up there a little bit. His first game back for the Rumble, and he's hurt. Looks like he really stretched for that in an awkward way.
The turf might have got him a little bit, or maybe a groin pull. Well, That didn't last long. You got a feel for Milo. He
Absolutely.
just got back on the field for the team after missing the first 2 games and a little portion of last season with I think he had a clavicle. And we saw it. We were at that game.
That's right. He got banged up. This is Saul again. That little flick to the sideline, does that effortlessly. Vukovic with a long feed to the back line. Look at that save and then the pick. Wow. I tell you, that was just a great play right there, and Philadelphia comes up with it on the interception.
Well, their greatest attempt there by Faust, intercepted by Esser. Downfield here. Looks like Hen gets the D. Mike Hennessy there, one of our key players of the game for the New York Rumble.
That was a great play by Esser. And how about Faust trying, as you mentioned, on the greatest to make that wonderful play?
Well, he made the right call. He made the right play there, and there was even a New York player there for it, but Esser went up high, climbed the ladder to get that.
So the Rumble again. That's sent downfield. And a nice tumbling catch there by Faust. He's a great player. He's got an early impact already. He's already attempted the greatest, and there it goes with a tumbling catch to keep it alive here for the Rumble.
Oh, a stall out here.
Wow.
Pretty uncommon.
I haven't seen much of that. You're right.
Yeah, it looks like Bosco couldn't find his man.
That's a tough break, and the Rumble will turn it back over to the Spinners.
I think that's another red zone turnover. They're 0-2 right now.
Absolutely.
0-3 because of the Faust greatest.
Michael Panner out in the field for the Philadelphia Spinners right now. Just made that pass to the sideline. It's fed along by Chow. Now we get a whistle.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yep.
It's clearly down. Sideline, J.B. Harrington there in orange calls it.
Spinners tried to move that disc quickly.
Yeah, they
avoid that turnover call there.
Yeah, that was as clear as day.
Yeah.
There was just nothing but turf there from Chow. Saul.
So Saul put it in.
Saul from Yardley, Pennsylvania, not too far from here, actually. I drove past him on the way down.
That's Hennessy. Michael Hennessy is another fine player for the Rumble. There's a feed that's going to get away to the far side, and they turn it right back to the Spinners.
I think that was Marsh over through Saul.
Sun could be difficult on any throw going to that far side of the field. I know it's difficult for us, at least me here in this booth right now, with that sun starting to dip.
Well, I'm wearing a hat, but they're not allowed to wear hats
that's
down
right.
there. Nice put.
And a little too far, trying to chase it down for Philadelphia was Shaw. He's a good one. A lot of familiar names on the Spinners team.
Well, pretty sloppy to start here. Not as crisp as what we've seen in some earlier matches here where the teams are going back and forth. And they're going back and forth here in turnovers.
Numbers high already. Only one goal. We've been nearly midway through this opening quarter of play. Spinners on top 1-0. New York trying to get it going. Vukovic, he's a young man who will handle it a lot today. He's really the kind of the hustling type, gritty type player. Doesn't get only accolades for the Rumble, but very, very efficient player. That's played up ahead. That's Marsh. They shorten their passing game here a little bit until now with the long huck downfield. Going to be well defended, and it's going to be knocked away. It just kind of hung up there a little bit.
Yeah, it's Faust battling with, I want to say Art Scholl, but I can't get the number.
Yeah, looked like Scholl. Hard to find him.
Good matchup right there.
Absolutely.
Two great guys up in the air.
Faust did his best to try to box on out, just couldn't find the positioning.
Big bid there.
Lindsay, another good player for the Spinners with a touch. Look at that diagonal feed towards the end zone layout. Did he make the catch? Yes, for the score. That was well done for Philadelphia. And Frederick Bras with a great catch on a great throw.
What a nice bid there. Got his feet down. Boy, that was close. We'll have to look at that on replay, see if he was in the sideline, calls him in. Look at this nice zip across the field. Let's see if he keeps his feet down. And in. Great call by the sideline referee, Harrington there. Its chest hit the ground first. You saw that, which is inbound, slides out. Really excellent play there by, I think it's Brazy, Frederick Brazy.
So we'll get the pull here from right to left. Spinners on top by 2.
Well, can New York do any worse?
Yeah, they got off to a slow start. Looked like a quick beginning when they created that immediate turnover in the first minute of play, and they turned it right back over at the goal line. And from that point on, they've really struggled to move that disc through midfield, if you want to use the 50-yard line as a reference point. Now they feed along, Huck down the layout try. That's off the fingertips. Just why was that Herman with a chance? Couldn't pick up the number. Maybe you saw it, Tony.
It might have been Matt Hennessy. This is interesting. This is their D-line, so that's not a bad play because they got it deep into the end zone. It was a good look from Banerjee. But already the Rumble has taken their O-line off the field, and they put Lucas Murphy, they put Banerjee, they put their D-line players out there to see if they can get something going. Unfortunately, it did not work, but at least they got their D on the field.
Well, they're really trying to stretch the field of the Spinners, and they're accurate on their game now. Bayer will loft one up high. It's going to hang, and that's a nice catch for the score and a celebration by Philadelphia. Jonathan Casey on the receiving end. Trying to punt that disc, didn't he?
Well, Jack Casey just goes up and gets it, and Banerjee watches it goes over his head. That was a D-line versus D-line game right there. At least this point was. It's 3-0. I don't know what you do if you're coach of the Rumble right now. I mean, they're not calling a timeout yet. Hey, it's still early in the game. It's okay, I guess, but they certainly are not looking good.
Philadelphia on a 3-goal run. They have scored 2 now within the 1:01 time frame.
I think you're right. I think that was Jake Herman on the bid out there.
Was it? Okay. And I was just guessing, trying to look into that sunlight. Got to be difficult for the players down below. Only game they're playing here at this facility this season. They'll be moving to another facility, the Spinners.
Yeah, Franklin Field again?
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That's a great venue. Downtown West Philly there. Offense back on for New York.
Looking for some offense.
Yeah,
Mazer. This is Marsh to control. He's pretty well guarded there, marked by Esser. Now Mazer. He's able to find those spaces, isn't he? That was Gillis who made the catch. A big name player for the Rumble. He needs to get going here today. Michael Hennessy. Faust coming back to the disc along the sideline as well marked on that far side by Schill. Philadelphia playing with some determination here in the first half. There's a good feed towards the end zone, and that's going to be a score on the far side. And the Rumble will put one up on the board, and boy, did they need that.
Yeah, they absolutely needed that. T-Lake there from the Ohio State University gets that goal, and pretty critical for those guys for sure. So New York up on the board here, down 3-1. Let's take a look at Ohio State. So regionals this weekend, Don, across the country for college teams and in the men's division. T-Lake there, Vukovic went to Ohio State. His team finished 3-0. They are going to have to face against the defending champion Pittsburgh on Sabanur in their region. And Pittsburgh also 3-0 today. Easy wins for them, including a 15-4 win over UPenn. So that's the state of affairs here in Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh over UPenn.
David Vukovic putting the Rumble on the board. That was great work down that far sideline. Now the Spinners. And it will just kind of leave it there for Bayer. Spinners using that short passing attack. Been so successful in the past, setting up basically little triangles.
Well, there was a good example right there. It was a nice out and in. That's too far.
Vinny trying to send it along, and as you mentioned, sent it too far.
Looks like a call.
So far, Brazzi with the catch of the day. Sensational play for the Spinners on their second goal.
So that turnover comes all the way back. It might have been a foul on the mark there. Anderson, Joe Smash Anderson was on the mark there. I wonder if he got a piece of the body on that throw, and that's why it went errant.
That's a back throw. That will go awry, just out of the reach. Philadelphia teammate Rainwater, Jake Rainwater on the far side. Is very spirited player is Rainwater. Boy, when he gets rolling, his momentum is high. He can certainly play with a lot of energy.
He's a beast out there. He's a big body. He's got range. He's got speed.
Hunsinger hunted that pass down. Hennessy, that's Matt Hennessy. It's laid out nicely, and that's just too easy. Where was the
Now this is something the league has to correct.
Yeah.
They're going to have to get to this. This should be a continuation rule, and this should be a goal, just like you see in the NBA, even in the USAU. The foul's back here. It didn't affect the play, and it's an advantage to Philly to foul. It should be an advantage to the team that got fouled. So they make the completed pass, they get into the end zone, and they don't get that. So that's something that I hope to see corrected maybe in the future. But Anderson, nonetheless, is able to slice one in there for the goal, and so they do get on the board, and that's a break for New York.
And Jonathan Cox on the receiving end of the beautiful feed from Anderson, and it's now 3-2. So the rumble coming on back here.
I like this low release. Oh, and he hung it up nicely. That was cool. So he Anderson gets down low. He's a big boy. He's 6 foot. And 6'2" maybe, and releases low where no defender, no mark can get to, but he puts enough of a rise on it so it doesn't go straight into the turf there. Stays up, and Jonathan Waldo Cox is able to collect that one for the goal.
Seen Cox have a couple of nice catches here for scores over the last couple of games. We've had a chance to watch the Rumble play in their season opener against Boston.
Looking at the line here, Art Scholes on D, Leon Chow, Esser there, number 11 with the Mohawk. Good. So that's an O-line, right, of course. This is interesting. Art Scholl plays D. Leon Chow plays D. And Coach Maroon told me that after every O point that they do not score, Scholl will then convert from the D-line to the O-line. That's why we're seeing him out there. Pana, also a D-line player. Whoa, what a block.
Absolutely, and they turn it right over. The Rumble will get it back. That's Cox able to knock it away to the sideline here. And the Rumble with a chance to tie things up.
And look who's got the disc.
Second left.
Chris Mazer.
They'll play it to the center of the field.
It's a beautiful break, Mark.
Ooh. You love the way they do that. It's a nice catch there by Matt Hennessy. Boys had a couple of nice grabs already. This is Sender.
Sender's got to be careful, but so far so good.
Matt Hennessy on the far side. And a little bit of space up to Sender. They begin to play some catch between the two to advance upfield. Rumble looking to tie down the 20 seconds remaining here in the quarter towards the end zone, and that's going to be a nice catch. Mazer on the receiving end. Boy, I tell you, that was brilliantly done.
Yeah, well done by Rumble. Way to get back into this game. Cox there set up the D. That started the whole thing off. They worked it in patiently. Mazer goes and gets that disc. Doesn't allow that to the defender to get there in time. He just goes up and gets his body there. Snags it out of the sky.
Well, he went after that with some determination, didn't he?
Well, as well he should. This guy's the MVP. He's a great player. He's a really good player. Not just as a thrower. This guy's a real receiver, too. It takes one in the back for it. Shot in the back. Hey, you got the disc. Pow.
That was a great cut against the face of the defender to make that catch.
So some of the photographs you've been seeing online, which are fantastic. Brian Caniff is here today, is done by Ulti Photos. You see the UP up logo on the shirt. It's the official photography partner of Major League Ultimate. Ulti Photos features an elite core of ultimate photographers across the U.S. and Canada who are passionate about the sport of Ultimate. That's because they all play. They're available to cover your Ultimate tournament and capture incredible photo memories for participants and fans. Check them out at ultiphotos.com and check out their complete MLU game coverage at MLUimages.com.
I love it. Just a second ago, as you were speaking, the pull goes all the way through the end zone. Katzenbach started to chase it, rolled away from him like it was a piece of paper being blown in the wind. He said, the heck with it. Let one of those younger guys go chase it down.
So, Don, look at this. We have 15 seconds left on the clock that we see here. This is a Callahan opportunity, right? This is a chance where New York in the end zone here to try to get a goal.
Reflection of those new rules there, too. This is Bayer.
I think Philly's playing smart. They're like, don't turn it over.
Very, very.
Yeah, just handle it.
Yeah, let the time tick off the clock.
Time. They just ran that clock out. New York should have been tougher on that. They could have done better.
Well, good comeback by the Rumble to close out the opening quarter. They post 3 consecutive after Philly had jumped out to a 3-0 lead. We're through 1 quarter of play in the New York Rumble, and the Philadelphia Spinners tied at 3. Back with more on the MLU. I couldn't see those.
The Spinners head south to tangle with DC. Can Philly shock the current? Or will Alan Kollick and friends send the Spinners home dizzy? Come out and see May 4th at 5 p.m. The Whitecaps are crashing the Eagles' nest. Can the Rumble keep their heads above water and avenge their Week 1 loss? Come out and see May 3rd at 7 p.m.
Back here at the home of the Philadelphia Spinners for at least this week at Plymouth Meeting High School as they take on the New York Rumble. They played last week to these two teams. It was double overtime before the Rumble posted win number 2 of the season. Spinners looking for their first win out of town. It was quite a game on the West Coast earlier today.
Yeah, looks like Portland was able to go to San Francisco. Down late 1, we saw the score. I think they're down 15-14. They pull out the victory 18-16. Portland Stags now 2-0 on the West Coast and looking good with a win, an away win there in San Francisco.
Here on the East Coast, interesting matchup going on between the Boston Whitecaps and the D.C. Current, I believe, right? And those two teams battled last week at D.C. You had a chance to watch that one, and
wow,
what a finish it was.
That was one of the better games I've ever seen in my life. That's all right. It sounds a little crazy, but it's true. It was a tie game. They threw it into the end zone to D.C., and it was a foul. Schaffner got fouled on the mark, and the disc comes back. 10 seconds left. Prowl just jacks up a hammer. Told me later that he was fouled. That's why it floated about. And Calvin Ong skies it for D.C. The crowd, they handed out mini cowbells to the crowd. So it was loud, and it was good. And it was a good win for D.C.
Nice crowd filling in the stands on the far side here. And
well, look at this offense here.
Plymouth Meeting.
We talked to Webster McBride, the assistant coach who's helping out on the offensive side. He said they were going to do different sets, and this is a big, wide hose stack. Wow, nice bid there.
Heyman seeing some time out on the field right now. That's Matt Hennessy in the middle. Will huck one, and they're going to put the run on and make the catch for the score. The Rumble will enjoy their first lead of the afternoon as Jack Marsh able to chase it down for the score.
Well, the kid from Yardley there from Pennsbury High School sails at what looks like a crazy throw. He's got a forehand going to the other side of the field. Watch this loft. He lifts it up, but his throw isn't intended for the forehand side. It's going to the backhand side, and it gets there perfectly. A really nice, crafty throw there. That's why the kid's a 2-time defending national champion in college.
Yeah, you're mentioning the offenses that the Rumble will show. They're going to go some vertical, some horizontal offense, and that time that huck downfield certainly proved effective on that vertical offense.
I mean, they released Marsh. He was back in the handle. They released him deep. He had no one on them, so they must have set up and able to get that kind of spacing downfield. You can't quite see it in, where we've got some of these cameras positioned, and that's a good thing because otherwise the field's too big. But they set that up nicely on the cut and the design of that offense.
So the Rumble have scored 4 consecutively to take their first lead here at 4-3. Katzenbach along that back row right now for the Spinners. He'll play it near side to Mickey Harnett. A big possession here for the Spinners in my estimation. Need to stop a little bit of the bleeding.
Yeah, 4-goal runs big.
Catton's back to the near side. Kind of edged that one up there, up for grabs, and it's a turnover. Sender will advance downfield, but they don't feed it that way. He got open behind that defense. It was late to react there for the Spinners, but they elected to set up a play and go for the score on the far side to Jonathan Cox instead. So great patience shown by New York. They didn't try to force it.
Well, that was smart. Because that would have been scary if they tried. What's happening when you get a player like Sender who runs away, which is fine because you're clearing out space. The cut's not the problem. The problem is if you try to hit him on an away cut, it's a little tighter spot to hit, and the player's moving at a vector away from the disc. It's a lot harder. Take your time. Wait for this. Wait for your patience. Find your opening. Here's Katzenbach. It's a little bit of a lazy. Maybe he's a little rusty, and Sender times it perfectly. Here's Banerjee right now. He's the one that waits, and easy score.
So that's 5 in a row now by the Rumble, and they have the lead at 5-3.
Well, the Rumble's coach Nunez, I asked him, what we're going to come into this rematch with, and he said, "Listen, we showed that we were the better team. We went up by 5 goals. We just have to play consistent, and we just have to keep building our chemistry."
Mazur with the pull. The Spinners now trying to find some chemistry of their own. And they'll huck one way downfield, looking for the quick strike. Quite a chase for that disc. Oh, and that defense will just knock it away at the last moment. Was that Baum who made that play for New York, trying to pick up the number of the Rumble player?
It's either him or Heyman.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that Brenton Hard? Brenton Hard wasn't supposed to be here today. Oh, that is B. Hard.
Is that who it is? Okay.
Yeah, that's Brenton. Brenton was early this morning. He was doing a signing in Tribeca for the ESPN Sports Festival for the New York Rumble, and just signed last week. And great play from Brenton Hard.
Boy, he really laid out effectively. Another turnover here.
Not sure
with a chance.
Cox was doing there.
Trying to strike quickly. Brazio had that great catch for a score earlier. This time he'll feed it to Panna for the point. And that's a big goal there by the Spinners. Make it 5-4.
Well, you don't want to waste a beautiful play like that. There's my bomb. So we're going to have to look at this. They showed Brenton Hard, but we'll have to find out if that was bomb or Hard. You don't want to waste a great D like that. But it at least showed to Philly that they got the defenders downfield. And an unfortunate turnover there. But Philly gets back after the 5-goal run. They didn't call a timeout during that 5-goal run, but they do stop it here. Both teams have 2 timeouts left, 7:58 on the clock.
Brazzi having a good game thus far with a goal and assist, setting up Michael Panna for the tally a moment ago. Good look at the Spinners sideline. Fans starting to get into it.
Is that a cowbell in here? I hear another cowbell.
Oh, yeah. That's popular, I guess, in the MLU.
Yeah. It's the Cowbell League.
Must be able to buy them cheap.
They're little mini ones. They're great.
Oh, they are cheap.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah.
No, but then somebody asks to have one, and he's like, no, I can't just give them all of them away.
Let's see what the Rumble will do.
Coming out of this host stack again. I like it, the horizontal.
Marsh had a touch. Now they'll play it on back, slow it down. That's Hennessy. Rumble overcoming a 3-goal deficit to get right back into this game far side Matt Hennessy.
I think that was Iggy.
There's Hennessy now with a throw. Oh, tried to feed it in. That was a near collision. Might have been Casey who made the play. Yes, it was Casey on the big D.
Yeah. Vukovic can hold on.
Seen the players take some chances with the disc here today, trying to feather it in.
Uh-oh. Ooh, he goes up big.
That was a good play there by Paparone. First time we've mentioned his name. Spinners trying to advance the tie here with 6:56 remaining till halftime. Marshall Ward. Colton.
Well, these two guys, Colton and Ward, are getting the start in place of the injury to Matt Glazer. Randolph, another handler, is out today with the sickness.
Well, that's 2 big names for the Spinners.
Marshall Ward, who was just a year out of graduating from UNC, North Carolina, dark side, who this season is the #1 ranked team in the country in college. Well, here's a big hanger. Let's see what happens.
Bayer sends it down. A battle for positioning, and too many Rumble defenders in the vicinity, and they'll come up with the interception. Really, there was not much of a chance at all for Patrick Lindsay to come down with that one.
Yeah, 3 Rumble players there. Reminded me of DC last week. They sent players to 50-50 disc. They're like, you go and get it, everybody. Just crowd around it.
Which is not a bad idea. And the Rumble will send one down. Trying to use some of that athleticism and speed, but just looked like he ran out of gas with Robbie Gillis right there as he stumbled and bumbled a little bit towards that ball.
Well, it's a big field, and it's a long yardage, and there's not a lot of downtime. These players get tired. You got to be in shape. You got to be fit, and
absolutely,
when it just sails that far over your head, it can be a little dispiriting.
Yes, sir.
Whoa!
Bear.
That's what happens when you're not looking.
No,
that's a fine thing if you're being face guarded.
Colton down for Casey. He just couldn't come up with it there.
Nice job by T-Lake there. Vukovic goes up and
Absolutely.
gets his man up in the air. Didn't seem like he didn't get the disc, but by him going up, it forced Casey to go up at the same time. Timeout now here by Nunez. Good call. Players are looking a little tired out there.
They really do. So 5-4 your score. New York on top of Philadelphia here with 5:28 remaining in the opening half, Tony. And we'll take a quick break. Back with more MLU Live. It's a good one here on the East Coast.
The Spinners head south to tangle with DC. Can Philly shock the current? Or will Alan Kollick and friends send the Spinners home dizzy? Come out and see May 4th at 5 p.m. The Whitecaps are crashing the Eagles' nest. Can the Rumble keep their heads above water and avenge their Week 1 loss? Come out and see May 3rd at 7 p.m.
All right, good look at the crowd across the way, starting to get into this one. Maybe a few T-shirts being tossed up into the crowd.
That's all it takes.
Make you happy, and maybe a cowbell or two. Who knows? But
if they throw cowbells into the crowd, I'll be impressed.
That would be dangerous.
That would be dangerous and fun.
You'll be sitting over there instead of alongside me. I'd miss you.
Well, maybe they could make one over here.
You know how at the NHL hockey games now they put the commentator.
Across the way.
Yeah, across the way in between the benches.
Yeah,
That's kind of a novel idea.
It's pretty hilarious. You see him down there, and he's like, he can get a puck in the face at any moment or a stick if you see something wrong.
Well, out of the timeout here. See what the Rumble can do. Pretty good timeout, as you mentioned. Both teams looked a little gassed.
So some names we haven't talked about yet. Quinn Hunziker. We did see him out in the field there. He has been making those fantastic Ds for the Rumble.
So the Rumble will get a start. Mazer, who's already been an impact player here today, has a goal.
Playing both lines a little bit, Mazer.
Rumble trying to keep pace with the Whitecaps. Of course, the Current, two teams that right now have set the bar rather high here in the East.
Well, they got a great line here, does New York.
They got Faust out there.
They got Faust. They got Heyman, the Callahan winner, Heyman. They got Vukovic, who's been all over for them. They got Mazer.
Mowat's not a bad player in his own right.
That's right. Whoa.
Another stall?
I don't think that was a stall. It might have been a travel call.
Mazer slammed it down in disgust.
Yeah, he was upset.
He may have, you know what, in second thought, I think you're right. That's a pretty good call by the official. He looked like he may have slid the foot.
That's costly, but not costly enough as Philly throws it away right away.
Panna tried to edge one in to Shull and couldn't hold on to it.
The wind kind of picked up a little bit, but that's no excuse.
Just about 4 minutes remaining.
Hennessy draws the foul. He just basically yells at the head ref that he's being fouled and gets the call.
Michael Hennessy. Thought he had a great game in that loss to the Boston Whitecaps in Week 1.
Yeah, and he had a great game last week, too.
Mazer.
If he scores, we'll get to see him do the Irish jig.
Faust fakes a pass. Short little pass right there. Little tiny one to Heyman.
Well, they're crowded really tight here. Hennessy has to put one to the far side, and it works.
That was a nice throw, too. Boy, he kind of flicked it with a little edge to it there, and it's caught by Heyman for the score.
There's the little Hodag insignia there, another Wisconsin player there. Those guys also national championships in the college division multiple times. From Dan Heyman there with the score from Hennessy. 6-4 New York here. Breakmark is an official merchandiser of the MLU, providing, look at the replay right here. And give me the claws, Pow, Hodag. Breakmark is an official merchandiser of the MLU, providing gear for all MLU officials and producing the official headwear of the league. Actually, they've really can only say this word properly, really dope hats now for the Rumble. Breakmark produces high-quality custom ultimate gear for high school, college, and club teams. Look for them at breakmark.com for all your ultimate apparel needs. Do it.
Absolutely. Stuff is cool.
Oh, the hats look nice. I like the hats. This disc is going to sail out of bounds. Almost
came
hit
up
the
here.
stands near us.
If I'd made a catch of that, would that be an official tryout for an MLU team?
Why not?
Nick Harinette to put it in play. He's been featured in one of the commercials you watch during the breaks here.
That's right. The nice fakes from the handle position. That's Harinette.
Nick will play it back to Bayer. That's David Bayer's brother Michael also plays for the Spinners. Harinette comes to the near side. Rainwater with a quick touch. Like watching Rainwater play. Mentioned he's a big body. Catching back. Did he come up with a rolling catch? No. And they turn it over. Well, he kind of collided there. Now the Rumble trying to score quickly. That collision, by the way, number 27 for New York, not on my roster. You may have a 27.
I'm trying to figure out who they brought on. That was a great D, though.
It really was.
Uh-oh.
It is up for grabs
Oh!
again. How's that for some defense by Philadelphia? And the Vinny making a big play. Boy, did they need that. And he came up with a nice play in the end zone.
Well, I think Anderson had his hands and hit his own player. Harinette will put it deep to Rainwater.
Nice catch by Rainwater. Okay, we just use the big frame of his
Yeah,
to
sure. Yeah, that's what you
battle
do.
through. Peters to the near side now. Sombrum able to play it up to Bayer. David back to Nicky Harinette.
The D was by 47. Lucas Murphy.
Harinette flicked it up to Rainwater. Rainwater looking, and he'll edge that in nicely. Missed assignment perhaps, and the score by the Spinners. Number 9, Patrick Deviney on the receiving end.
Well, we're seeing a lot of the same again. Red zone problems from New York. Similar to the red zone problems that Philadelphia had last week. There's the D by Lucas Murphy there. Way to get under Katzenbach. But here's Anderson. I think Anderson's going to get this, and he runs into his own guy. Runs into Austin Raymond. Unfortunate there. See, Anderson has it. Boom, has it. And the body contact with his own man knocks it out. Unfortunate for New York. This is the nice put there. Rainwater just with the body. Able to go up with a nice little edge throw here. Nice touch. Beautiful.
Yeah, you got to like it. Well done by the Spinners. It's close at 6-5. Turning into a seesaw battle now.
Wind starting to pick up as the sun is dropping down and the lights are coming on here.
We're tied at 3 after 1 quarter of play.
Looks like Scholl's getting ready for the pull here. Art Scholl, the farmer, gets up and milks the cows every morning. Works at a farm. Gets some time off here to come here and play a little ultimate.
On the turf field. Get away from that real grass.
Yeah.
Mazer plays it up ahead.
I wonder if he has to till.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't be a farmer if he can't till.
That's right. Oh, nice
Oh,
put.
nice, right to the middle of the field there. That's going to hang up nicely, and that's a score. That was chased down and held on to by Jake Herman for the goal for the Rumble.
Well, he took it away from Mr. Ira's jig. I was looking forward to that. But the quick release there from Marsh, I want to say it was Marsh that put that, or Saul, actually. It looked like a Saul release, like how fast that forehand came out of his hands. But nice movement. Way to mix it up a little bit. It wasn't the hoe stack, the full hoe stack that they were doing before. They used the wind to their advantage, score quickly. That's what the offense should do. Get on the field, score quickly, give confidence back to your D team. There's Brenton Hard right there, 45 with the disc to pull.
It took him 18 seconds after the Spinners had tallied to put one up on the board to make it 7-5 and enjoy that 2-goal lead again.
You see warming up behind us, Don? That's Pennsbury right there in the striped shirts. That's the high school that Isaac Saul went to. Some other kids out here on the teams. One of the top high school teams in the country. They've won a championship. I think Nunez might have coached a lot of those Pennsbury players. Not Pennsbury itself, but those players when they do a club traveling team, the touring touring team version. They're going to play at halftime against Science Leadership Academy, our school founded by Chris Lehman, an Ultimate player. They've been together now for 8 years over down by Franklin Institute. Kind of cool to see him starting up an Ultimate team at a school that he also founded.
Absolutely.
He's the principal.
That's terrific. Spinners to put it in play.
Smash there, almost gets that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Anderson, very likable man, one of the smiling faces of the MLU. Been around the game for a long time. This is Rainwater.
Well, you know who coached him is the man I was just telling you that founded that academy, coached Anderson and high school in New York at the Beacon School.
Rainwater looking around. Good job to hold that pivot foot down. We've seen a traveling call here already. We've had a stall in this game, too. Two things you don't see too much of. Rainwater in the receiving end with a reaching catch as the Spinners work it nicely to make it a one-goal game again.
Well, there's Matt Esser making it look easy, too, getting on the board, adding to his tally. He's got some nice stats out there, and that's the reason why. Gets the disc and already is looking where his next throw is going to be. So right in motion there, he's just establishing his pivot foot, and the forehand is open there for him, and he takes advantage, puts it in for the goal.
So it makes it a one-goal game here. These two teams went to double overtime before a winner was decided last week with the Rumble coming out on top. They gave up, a 5-goal lead in that game, I think you told me, right, Tony?
Yeah, 5-goal lead. They won it in, well, it said second overtime. It was actually sudden death. So the first goal that scored, and 2 turnovers in sudden death. So, and they survived Philly turning it over on the goal line in that particular occasion, and then they were able to march it down and then had a peculiar ending to the game, but it worked. 52 seconds left in this game before halftime, and we got a good one here.
Yes, it's been terrific. The Rumble, Mazer to the middle of the field. Vukovic, who's had a strong opening half. Well, he threw that one up for grabs, and see, I jinxed him again. That was Chow who went up high to steal it away for the Spinners.
Lazy scuba up into the wind.
This is Panna now. Spinners looking to tie. They got 26 seconds left. On their championship march a couple years ago, they were splendid in situations like this. Late in the quarter, cashing in with time ticking off a clock. Very good late quarter team. Let's see what they can do here. Running out of time with 10 seconds remaining till halftime. That's Colton. Rozzi to Colton. Colton looking, and we get a whistle and a timeout call.
Wow.
By the Spinners.
Well, it's a smart timeout call, but they should have called that earlier. I mean, why wait to 2.8 seconds left on the clock? Maybe until, there's that scuba. Unfortunate. Chow is just too good of a defender to allow that. Hennessy, a good player as well, but a little too risky. I think the problem was just the direction he threw it up into the wind. Yeah. I think if it was to the downwind, it wouldn't have been a problem. The refs are going to talk about this here, find out where the disc is going to be. Now, here's the question. Did they call a timeout before it got up to Colton on the give and go, or does it go back to before that? So we'll find that out, and we'll be back at you. We'll stay right here.
Yeah, we'll keep it here. Question for you. Where do you think they'd rather have the disc? Closer with less time?
Closer. Yeah, closer with less time. Yeah, yes. I would take closer with less time. Yeah. I would. Where they're at right now at the 33-yard line, and remember the goal is at the 10, so that's a 23 yards, 7 seconds. So that's 2 passes. Not bad. And you could bail out from there too. So I don't mind it, but I also don't mind having it 10 yards out, and you look for one direction. If you don't have it, you go right to the other.
Yeah, so it looks like they put 4.3 seconds back on the clock and brought the disc out about, 10 yards or so, 15 yards from the spot where we thought they called the timeout. So it should be interesting. So now they get time to make 1-2 passes before they get it in the end zone.
Yes, I wouldn't say 2 unless the defense is just really shoddy. That'd be the only way to get it. But 1 pass and a quick score. The question is, do they misdirect? Do they try to go to the break side? That's going to be the question here. Let's see what New York does on defense too. They're talking about it right now. Interesting. So now they get a full set here. So they get to come in and do whatever set they want. They have a man deep, back as a dump, which is not. I don't understand that. If they dump it to him, forget about it.
It's like McClellan holding the disc in hand.
If I was Sender, I wouldn't even guard him.
McClellan's going to just heave it up towards the back of the end zone. It's going to be intercepted. And time will expire here.
Well, nice read on that by Matt Hennessy there. He went right back to the disc, tracked it down. They get the D, and that's the end of the half. And New York will go into the half. A lot of turnovers in that first quarter led to this low score here, 7-6. But I'll say it in a away game here, New York will take that.
I think things will really open up second half with that sun starting to dip on the far side and very comfortable temperatures. I think could have affected play, along with that wind that you were talking about in the first half, too. So great first half right here on MLU Live. We'll take a break. We'll be back with our halftime show. That's all upcoming. We'll have stats and more for you.
Evan Boucher is leading the Dogfish North to go head-to-head with Mark Burton and the Stags. Come out and see who reigns supreme in this Battle of the Beasts. May 3rd at 3 p.m. Evan Boucher and Danny Tridiak face off in a battle of two of the league's best throwers. Come see as the Dogfish take on the Rainmakers. May 4th at 1 p.m.
Back here to beautiful Plymouth Meeting High School here in Plymouth Meeting Township in Pennsylvania. Jonathan Cox with a big first half, leading the Rumble to a 1-goal lead, and he's alongside our own Charisma McElwain.
All right, come on, Matt!
It's been a great game so far. So, yes, I'm here with Jonathan Cox, number 3 on the Rumble, who scored 2 goals in the first half. And Coach Nunes has Chris Mazur playing alongside you on the D-line. How does it feel to have him on the line with you?
I always like playing with Mazur. It's really nice to have him out there when we get the ball. He makes the field a lot bigger, so we have a lot more opportunities when he's out there. And it's worked out a little bit so far.
Well, yeah, you're entering the second half with a lead of 7-6. What do you think it's going to take for you guys to walk away with a win?
7-6 at half. I mean, this is a really low-scoring game. We got to stop turning it, and we got to, when we have the disc, we have to care for it and put it in the end zone and get some points on the board.
Okay, well, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Send it back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Charisma. Great job down below. Jonathan certainly having a big first half. Jonathan Cox with a couple of goals leading the way for the New York Rumble to a 7-6 lead. And, Tony, you take a look at some of the first half highlights. They were outstanding as both these teams really struggled to find their flow. Once they found their rhythm, we saw some pretty good action.
Well, these teams match up well, and so that's what we're seeing a lot of. This is the one. This could be our friction glove of the week catch, right? Not so bad.
He needs a pair of gloves, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of his goals today. He also had a nice assist.
Casey, yeah. There's Jonathan Cox, who we just talked to with the D. Mike Sender goes up on this one. Nice job.
As we watch some of these highlights, you like the positioning of Mazur and what he's done for the Rumble here today, kind of that new look position for him?
Well, you know what? It's telling the team everyone's accountable, and it's also bolstering that D line so that they could try to get some scores out of it. And he is a big presence out there. He's got all the tools. He just needs to get his confidence back and play solid, and it'll be a force. So no, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's smart what they're doing.
As you can see, the clouds up above on this beautiful day, and the sunset certainly beautiful in the background. New York Rumble with the lead over the Spinners at 7-6. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more of our halftime. You're watching the MLU live right here on the East Coast.
The Spinners head south to tangle with DC. Can Philly shock the current? Or will Alan Kollick and friends send the Spinners home dizzy? Come out and see May 4th at 5 p.m. The Whitecaps are crashing the Eagles' nest. Can the Rumble keep their heads above water and avenge their Week 1 loss? Come out and see May 3rd at 7 p.m.
Hey, guys. Well, we are here up in the booth with Brian Flaherty, the Director of Media Relations for the MLU. Brian, welcome to the booth. Say hi to the camera right there.
Hi, guys. How's it doing, guys?
So you've been spending a lot of time down at the field watching this game. What are some of your observations?
Well, so far, it's really been a battle of turnovers here between the two teams. Both have 10 so far at the half. That now means the New York team is...
So 10 turnovers for each. 10
turnovers for each. Philadelphia has 7 throwaways.
Yeah.
They're not being very patient with the disc. They're also not taking their opportunities down the field. Both teams only have 2.
Yeah, they're playing kind of conservative.
Yeah,
at times.
we have two shots over 40 for both teams.
That's it.
Yeah, it's that kind of surprised me as well.
Okay.
We'd like to see both teams kind of attack downfield a little bit more, take some opportunities when they can, and really just not hold on to the disc and look for those quick dumps. I think they're not kind of taking the opportunities where they are.
And you were at the last game last week, DC versus Boston. How do you compare that game to what we're seeing here today?
One of the biggest things I was noticing just out of the handlers, there's not a lot of movement from the second and third handlers. Last week,
second and third handlers, yeah.
Correct, yeah. Last week, guys like Alan Kollick, Sean Keegan for DC, as well as Jeff Graham and some of those guys on the Boston squad, that their upline cuts really opened up the game for those two teams and allowed them to take strikes down the field off of that quick pass.
Right.
And that's just not happening for either of these teams today.
So tell me about some of your job, the media relations that you do for MLU. People are always interested in how the media gets out. I mean, the website looks fantastic. There's so much information being put out, so much fantastic stuff. How do you keep all that? How do you disseminate what we're doing here with Ultimate, what's being done here with Ultimate to the people out in the world?
Yeah, so our content team has really been doing a tremendous job so far this season. We work with all the teams throughout the week, making sure all that content is getting up there at a timely manner.
Are you personally sending out some of those tweets?
No, I do not do any of our Twitter.
So you're not Twitterfied?
No, our director of social media, Alex Witchen, who is also here today.
Is she right?
She was sitting right down here, but I think she might have taken off.
I need to talk to her about some social media issues.
She's been doing a great job. So is our director of content, Paul. Our associate director of content, John.
And you're in
Phillips.
charge of all of them.
I am not. No. We work together. I can't. I can't take credit for that. I do work with them. Making sure we're putting out a strong product each and every week. Getting some of those things up there, like the power rankings, our rapid reaction posts right after the game. Are you
going to write that up today? The rapid reaction.
Yeah, I'll do a rapid reaction for this game, a couple stats, a couple plays of the game, maybe a quote or two.
Cool.
Just getting that stuff out to the fans in a timely manner. No one likes to read a recap 3 days after the game actually happened.
All right, Brian. Well, thanks for joining us up here in the booth, and we look forward to your rapid reaction after today's game.
Thanks so much. Looking forward to the second half.
Yep, this should be a good one.
Evan Boucher is leading the Dogfish North to go head-to-head with Mark Burton and the Stags. Come out and see who reigns supreme in this Battle of the Beasts. May 3rd at 3 p.m. Evan Boucher and Danny Tridiak face off in a battle of two of the league's best throwers. Come see as the Dogfish take on the Rainmakers. May 4th at 1 p.m.
One of the main reasons we're able to bring you this game live is our partner, Elemental Technologies. Elemental is the leading supplier of video solutions for multi-screen content delivery, providing unmatched solutions for more than 250 leading media franchises worldwide. Elemental helps paid TV operators, content programmers, film studios, and sports broadcasters bring video to any screen, anytime, all at once. To learn more, please visit elementaltechnologies.com and follow Elemental Tech on Twitter.
I tell you, I was watching the live stream as you guys were in Washington, D.C. last week. I was enjoying the beautiful weather in Charlotte, North Carolina with my grandson, and the stream was brilliant. Absolutely beautiful.
Came out great?
Yeah, it was
good.
great. You guys
Good
did
to
a terrific job. It was fun to watch, listen to. How about the halftime score here? Rumble leading the Spinners 7-6 as we settle in for the second half of play in just a moment here. Well, let's talk about adjustments and the type of adjustments you need from the Spinners to be successful and what the Rumble need to do.
Well, that's a good question. We heard Brian at halftime talk about how they're not shooting it downfield. I don't know where the adjustment comes there. Do you want to put it downfield? It's a little risky. High risk, high reward. It's a 7-6 game. Maybe you don't want to do that. I mean, you got to convert. Neither team's converting their opportunities. 10 turnovers each side is what he mentioned. Both teams are not looking good in the red zone. I don't know who's worse. So both teams have stuff to work on. On the other hand, they're getting their opportunities. So they're doing things that are right. It's just a matter of really kind of bringing it all together. And it's going to come down to the fourth quarter again.
You talk about the fourth quarter of play, and, of course, for the Spinners trying to come up with a big fourth quarter and win their first of the season, stop that long skid that began really last year, as you mentioned, and try to stay in the hunt here in the East with the Whitecaps and the Current, of course. And for the Rumble, we mentioned they're trying to earn that respect throughout the league here. And they really had the same MO last year, didn't they? That they were the team that was trying to gain all the respect here in the East.
Well, they started that way, I want to say, and then they were like, you know what? Let's just be goofy and be ourselves, and go with it and see if we can get there. And DC, they're a little more hard nosed down there. They're a little more. They kind of got a little more attitude. New York's supposed to have attitude, but at the same time, they know themselves as being like kind of a collective of guys that don't want to compete but also want to have fun.
All right, how about this one? Score just 7-6, 13 goals between the two teams. I can do that math rather easily. Who's at favor, low-scoring game? Spinners in this situation or the Rumble?
Well, Spinners, I think, lead the league in goal scoring. So I would say this favors the Rumble. But on the other, it's a good question, Don. On the other side, the Spinners are scoring the most goals in the league, but they've lost every time. So, maybe they can win a low-scoring game, right? So I don't know. You got me on that one.
It's going to be interesting. They'll have to play it out here in the second half is what they need to do. Of course, Billy Maroon, I had a chance to talk with him. I know you did too prior to the start of the game. He didn't seem to be all that frustrated with the Spinners' 0-2 start.
No, not
really
at all.
Confident this team could turn things around.
That's a good point you make. Billy, the coach, veteran, been playing a long time. His assistant coach, Paul Manecci. These guys have been around. I did not seem too worried. You know what he told me? He told me 1 through 27, they have the deepest roster in the MLU. So he believes that his guys are maybe not their top 7, don't match with the top 7 of Boston or D.C., but 1 through 27, they're the best team out there. So he feels if he can just build the confidence off of that whole group, that's going to pay off towards the end.
They practice on Thursdays, I believe. Very difficult, perhaps, once a week to get everybody together to get them on the same page. If you want that team concept, I don't know.
Once a week and 2 hours, I mean, that's not a lot of time, and then you got a big game coming up. So, and what do they spend the entire 2 hours on? Red zone offense.
That's right.
So trying to score 10, 20 yards out, and, mixed results so far.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the second half plays out. Anthony Nunez, of course, head coach of the Rumble. And, they wanted to show a mixture of different offenses here today in the first half. Have they done that in your estimation?
Yes, they have. Yeah. We were talking to McBride. He said they had about 4 different sets.
Yeah.
The traditional I could go into the history of how these offenses get stacked. But in the United States, traditionally, the vertical stack was the way to go. In Germany, they developed the horizontal stack that came to the United States about 15 years ago. Teams started working in a couple national champions in the fall division club-wise using the horizontal stack. Now teams kind of have to do both because there's different ways to shut down each one. So you need a vertical, you need a horizontal, and you need variations of each. Whether you're ISOing cutters to one side, to the force, to the break, or you're having people cut from the back to the front, or you're going to just kind of handle it moving in. Now, one thing we know on offense on Philly, carrying on a little bit here, is what you've seen before, and you'll know this, is a lot of handler movement, right? They just dish it back, move it. Well, they varied out from that a little bit, so we're seeing a little bit more, but they're still in a tight space. They don't want to go away too much from that because that's what Philadelphia's been doing for years. So, we'll see which one of those prevails.
We saw a picture of the officials up close and personal a moment ago while you were talking about what these two teams will try to do offensively and how have they played into the first half. We saw a traveling call that we don't see too many of those, and we saw a stall call that we didn't see too many of with that stall call early on.
Yeah, but they did make they made the right call on Brazy getting the catch down here. They made the right call in on an end zone play, I believe, up high there. So they've been making the right call. So I trust them if they say there was a travel and a stall. The stall, I think, was definitely a great call. That was getting a little high. I was surprised that he was not able to. He just couldn't find a receiver. So that's part of the game.
Good look at Ben Faust warming up down on the field for the second half of the Rumble. He tried to turn up a couple of nifty plays here in that first half, including the greatest that was intercepted, but he made a terrific effort on that, and expect a big half here out of Ben Faust. Has he found his game yet here in 2014? Is he on top of his game?
He had a great game last week here, against Philadelphia, and he is tied to the team lead in Ds. He has 4 Ds, and he's on the O-line. So he's a guy they depend on to get the disc back when they make a mistake. So, he's great. He's playing well.
Good look at the Rumble as they huddle around the coaching staff and get ready to settle in, looking for their second consecutive win and move above that 1-1 mark here. Philadelphia, of course, looking for their first win of the season here along the East Coast. As Mr. Faust, also a massage expert, I guess. I can see that. I could use a little shoulder massage myself.
I'll call him up to the booth here.
Good look at the Spinners across the way. Dr. Katzenbach has done a nice job.
He hasn't. He made that. He made a turnover.
Yeah.
He lofted one up in the air. Not entirely his fault. His guy could have got it maybe 50-50 disc. Still, you don't want to be throwing 50-50 disc from the handle position.
Had an assist on the game's first goal by Hairnet. How about spreading the offense around for New York? They've scored 7 times, only one multiple scorer today. That's Jonathan Cox. So the 5 other goal scorers have gotten into the mix. And for Philadelphia, 6 different scorers today.
Well, there you go. I mean, 1 through 27, they've got some depth there, and it's true. I can't pick out a superstar on this team because they're all pretty good players. We talked a lot preseason. The talk was Rainwater coming back for the season. He was out last year, 2 years ago. He was a big player for the Spinners, and he is a great player. But it's not just him. Esser's had a breakout season, but they got a lot of guys, a lot of talent.
Just about set, and we're underway here with the pull to start the second half. And it will be the Spinners who move it from right to left. They get it going here. And it's Bayer, plays it out right to Nick Hairnet. Hairnet's going to feed a long huck down the field, and that's going to be batted away. Making up some ground back there. Terrific work by Hunziger to deflect it away. Boy, we've seen him make some nice Ds throughout the early part of this season.
This guy's a highlight reel machine. He just churns them out. He dials them up, picks his spots. He's got wheels.
Lucas Murphy, where's number 47, sporting that beard out there in the field for the Rumble. He's got another touch. Good feed out to the left side to Cox. There's Mr. Anderson. Let's see what the Rumble will do as they matriculate up the field here. This is Cox to the near side. Only multiple goals scored in the game. There's some layout by Hairnet. How do you like that by Nicholas?
Well, nice job there from Philly to get that back. Count got up a little high there. He had to force one up the line. Wasn't able to get his reset. Hairnet was there.
Hairnet had the wind knocked out of him. He's going to come out of the lineup. Yeah, we'll see a substitution after that nice layout D a moment ago.
Update on Milo Snyder, number 50, who played his first point in some time, out with a hip injury, out for the rest of the game. Hopefully we'll see him back next week. What a layout there from Nick Hairnet.
Absolutely. Looked better on the replay, didn't it?
It looked amazing.
Ian McClellan out there taking his place. Katzen back will play it back to Bayer to the far side right. Sheridan. He's expected to be a pretty good addition here to this Spinner team.
Sheridan's been playing very well.
There's that long huck, sails down, and Rainwater makes the catch for the score. I thought he was going to stuff it up over that football crossbar. He's full of joy.
Well, nice put there. Where do you see the open receiver? And not only is it an open receiver, but it's an open 6'3" Jake Rainwater. So, yeah, put that disc. Cox does everything he can to get to that. Crushes into the body instead. Really no chance there. Just a great play there all around from Philadelphia to tie this game at 7.
It comes 1 minute and 31 seconds into the quarter, and Philadelphia now scored 2 consecutive, both by Rainwater, to tie things up here, Tony.
Well, these teams match up well. That's all I can say. It's going to come down to the end again, it looks like. A little early to say. Maybe a team are going to 3-goal. Well, maybe 5. Who knows? We saw the 5-goal run earlier when after Philly started off 3 straight. New York went 5 straight. Since then, really back and forth.
It looked like Philly was going to run them off the field early on. I believe that score a moment ago traveled over 50 yards in the air. Rainwater making that catch on the back edge of the end zone. That was one of your topics, wasn't it? The throws not being completed way downfield in the first half.
Well, there wasn't that many shots, is what Flaherty was saying. There was only 2 attempts from each team over 40, and that was one that was more than that. 40's a long way. You try throwing a disc 40 yards.
I wouldn't even attempt to throw it 10 yards. I respect my shoulders. Mazer plays it out to the right. Rumble will work it smartly to the middle of the field to try to get something going here. That's Jackie Marsh.
Whoa.
Oh, he edged it too high. That one got away from him a bit, and they turn it over.
I was going to say, I like their offense. They had open looks, and he throws to a guy in double coverage with an edge, a bladey throw.
Yeah, he tried to really fit that in there, which was difficult.
Yeah, and he had a guy open in the middle. He must not have seen him.
Seen the Rumble do that a lot in this game, try to fit that disc into tight spaces. And this is the Spinners now looking to regain a lead. We're tied up through 1 quarter of play after jumping out to that 3-0 lead.
Ooh.
And that's a nice cut There's a good little feed, too, by Colton into the end zone for the score. That was Peters on the receiving end for Philadelphia.
Well, Gabe Colton there from Brandeis out of Milwaukee. Watch this little lift on the backhand. Just waits for Peters to cut across the middle of the field with a break score from the D-line. Nice job from the Spinners.
Here comes some 2:45 into the quarter, and the Spinners with a big third quarter now have scored 3 in a row to regain the lead at 8-7. A game of runs here today.
Slight wind here. So this is the New York will be receiving on the downwind. That was a downwind goal for Philadelphia. Of course, they did just score on the upwind as well, so not terrible. But this should be something that New York, they have to score this goal. This cannot be that difficult. If they don't, it's another 3-goal run and a bit of an upwinder for Philadelphia.
Philadelphia with a pull right here.
Let's see who's on the line here for New York. Jack Marsh, Vukovic, Bosco number 28. Dan Heyman's out there. Iggy Ease is out there. Mazer, as we see, is about to get the disc.
Bosco sporting a new hairdo this year in 2014, I think.
A lack of hairdo.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Mazer, Vukovic. Those two collaborate effectively. Bosco coming back smartly. Mazer. Rossi trying to hunt him down a little bit.
Whoa.
He run into a pick right there? Or is that Michael Hennessy who knocked him down? Most likely. That was a good feed. A well-designed play for the score to tie things up again as the Rumble work it effectively downfield. You might have been looking for a whistle, and we didn't get it. On the receiving end was Danny Heyman with his second goal.
Well, you know, like I said, nice, easy movement. They picked their spots, had a little bit of the wind advantage there. Bosco punches it into Heyman, and they tie it up. Sorry, it's not Bosco, it's Jack. Jack Marsh.
4:25 into the third. Tying throw. So you're saying Marsh on the assist end of things there.
Yeah. That's what I got.
Marsh, nice game. Got a goal and assist today.
Harvard University. Also played at Wisconsin with Dan Heyman. Let's see if Wisconsin did today. Notre Dame, we know, went 2-1. I'm going to go 3-1.
Rumble with the pull. Bayer immediately from that end zone line played it up ahead to number 71, Ian McClellan. We'll see if Hairnet's back in the lineup. He is on the far side. Good to see him back. Lost the wind knocked out of him on that layout D a little bit earlier. Bayer, an active game today.
Whoa.
He'll throw it down to Hairnet. Look at him go. Can he get to it? Diving attempt. Just can't catch up to it.
Well, you saw it on the release. That came out with a lot of zip on it. It would have been an amazing play for Hairnet to catch up to that, but that had just a little too much mustard on it from McClellan.
I might be wrong, but it seems to me the Spinners really trying to exploit that Rumble defense with some throws downfield here in the third quarter.
Well, and they also did this last week with Hairnet getting a lot of goals. I mean, he's known as the handler, and last season all we saw was him behind the disc. And last game, he scored a couple of goals, and he was active in getting into that end zone. So we're definitely keying on Hairnet into the end zone.
Out in the field right now, number 27, Matthew Wilson. I was trying to figure out who 27 was for the Rumble. He has a number change, and there he is. He has a touch now, and a little flick with a forehand down. Oh, it's a great catch. Great timing. Oh, then they throw it away. Too bad for the Rumble after that fine play by Hunziker.
Well, I can't emphasize this enough. Hunziker needs to work on his throws, his timing. He needs to get out there and throw 100 throws with a friend of his. He just does not have the timing when he has the disc in his hands. He made 3 turnovers in the last 2 games. He makes magnificent plays everywhere. If he can get that other part of his game, the sky's the limit for him.
Oh, absolutely.
But you can't make throwaways like that. A forehand to the backhand side into the end zone? I mean, what, on a stall count of 0?
Hairnet. Nice move by Vinny to step inside and throw it down to Kelson back. He'll make the catch on the run. He'll have to make the touch now to Bayer for a score. And the Spinners hucking it downfield all of a sudden, Tony.
Well, why not? He had room. Katzenbach played basketball in college. He knows how to box out. If he's got space on somebody, you're not going to get the disc. He's a big body. Put it up to him. He had the space. You know what you do when you take advantage of a disappointing turn that New York just had there. You huck it downfield, that wide open guy. They're a little flat-footed. New York is. Take advantage, and that's what Philadelphia does. That's a big point. Hunziker again skies someone and then makes the turnover. Unfortunate for New York.
And the Spinners using the afterburners. Good transitional play that put one up bare from Katzenbach. Couple of assists now for Trey.
Just a couple?
I can only count so high.
When's he going to get to the magic number of 3?
9-8 you score. Philadelphia back up on top. Mazer double teamed. Matt Hennessy. Hannah trying to stay right with him defensively. Look at Shell playing some defense now. Michael Hennessy. Throw to the near side. Spinners playing with some determination. Let's see what the Rumble can do. What type of spirit will they play with here?
Running on a vert stack. Faust will put it.
He laid that one out beautifully. Look at it. Come on back. Oh, the defense will knock it away at the final moment. Michael Baird got just enough of it for the turnover.
Well, great play by Michael Baird. Absolutely nice play. Just really times that nicely. Gets just a piece of it.
That was a pretty good throw. How about that catch right there, reaching out?
Esser going down for it.
Esser's had himself a game today. Now he's tripped up downfield.
Well, Gillis got tangled up, and they're going to make that call. It's a good call. There's head ref James Kalinsky.
And Gillis didn't like it at all. We'll say something about it.
Kalinsky pretty adamant about that.
Not an easy game to officiate today. This is Lindsay to put it in play for the Spinners. They lead by 1.
Well, New York looks angry right now.
Panna. Shaw. Back to Panna. Bayer. This is Panna again. Oh, he tried to fit one in. Mazer there will intercept it. That's just too easy for such a great player. Mowitz played it back up ahead for Mazer. Too far ahead, and they turn it right back. And the Spinners will turn it back immediately. Although we may have a foul call, yeah. As Panna was knocked down.
Yeah, so it comes back to Panna. Muck just sends one too far for Mazer on the give and go. Panna now 15 yards out.
This is where the Spinners are looking for some improvement down in that area.
Whoa. Well, still some work to do.
Indeed. He'll toss it away. Brozzi was the
wind is really picking up here, I must say. So this is not just bad ultimate. There's a lot of wind. But Mazer's going to risk into the wind.
That's going to hang up there. A little bump, and we'll get the call here. That's a great call by the official.
Well, I don't know.
He bumped him, I thought, before the disc got there. But
I thought that's Esser at number 11. Mazer put it up. Muck is back there. Looks like Muck bunked into Esser, right?
I don't know.
Look at that. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good call.
All right. Well, here's the chance for New York to hold. Mazer will put it in.
On a poke in the eye on the catch. Faust making the grab. Shull trying to defend him. Faust okay. Good sportsmanship.
Yeah, from Mark Shull there. Well, that was a big call there. Goes New York's way. You can see the wind really rippling through the New York Rumble shorts. And they do collect it to tie it up here. But it's going to be an upwind, downwind game if this wind holds up. That's downwind score. And, the advantage right now is to Philadelphia.
First goal for Faust here today. Heyman and Cox, the multiple goal scorers for the New York Rumble. They scored a total of 9. Only multiple goal scorer is Jake Rainwater today for Philadelphia.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, they got a lot of different threats out there. Wow, Central Florida just crushed Georgia Tech, 15-4. Today's regional action. Florida State 15-9 over LSU. LSU is where Sean Murray went to school.
Murphy on the pull for the Rumble. Just above a minute remaining here in the third quarter of play in a 9-9 game. Aaron, it feathers one up ahead.
Whoa, the wind. Real factor there.
Looked like it was just going to be an easy catch for him. Wind's starting to pick up. Low feed there by Sender. Sender will get it back.
Keep away, Sender and Hennessy out there. Matt Hennessy. Sender, the big lefty, finds Anderson.
See what Anderson will do. Bear to Markham to the inside here. And we'll get a timeout called by the Rumble. So the Rumble will call a timeout with 37 seconds remaining in the quarter, Tony. And we're tied at 9. So it continues to be a very tight game. We'll take a break on MLU Live. We're back with the conclusion of quarter 3 after this.
Evan Boucher is leading the Dogfish North to go head-to-head with Mark Burton and the Stags. Come out and see who reigns supreme in this battle of the beasts. May 3rd at 3 p.m. Evan Boucher and Danny Tridiak face off in a battle of two of the league's best throwers. Come see as the Dogfish take on the Rainmakers, May 4th at 1 p.m.
All right, welcome right back as the officials down below discussing things, how they're going to call the fourth quarter of play. And some interesting calls here today. I think they've done a pretty good job, the guys in the orange down below. Not easy.
Well, let's see what Rumble does here out of the timeout. They've got 15 yards to go, 20 yards to go. Remember, the end zone is on the 10-yard line, and they are on the 25, so 15 yards. Facing the wind. The wind is kind of blowing sort of from the direction your screen is looking at there, from the Innova sign there on the field. So good timeout call, though, to get your offense on. Looks like Dan Heyman is going to check the disc in. If I can tell, Mazer out there, Hennessy, Mazer number 6, Hennessy number 4. Sorry, that's Saul, Isaac Saul. The kid from Pennsbury, whose high school team we saw at halftime.
Very talented high school team, I might add.
Very talented writer, Isaac Saul, too, by the way. He writes for Huffington Post. Wrote an article about Ultimate just recently, and all sorts of other topics. Yeah, you'll see him on there pretty frequently. Let's see if they have a play call.
He's being guarded by Colton. He'll work to the far side. Mazer looks, nothing going on. And he'll feather it on back. They'll try to reverse it near side. Plenty of time, 24 seconds. They shoot it towards the end zone. Down low, and they'll turn it over. And again, they tried to fit that into a tight spot there on the cut and the throw, I believe, by Cox, number 3. Those Spinners. Up to Gabe Colton to the far side. Looks like the Spinners will use one of their timeouts. They give them to you. You might as well use them. They've been a little slow in their timeouts, haven't they, with some of their calls?
Yeah, it's not quite like that DC Boston game when they blew through all their timeouts smartly, I might add, where even Boston converted all 3 of their timeouts last week. But really, I don't know why. If you don't have that throw, that forehand to that side, don't throw it. Like, I don't know if Cox has that throw. Like, he's lining a forehand sort of on a level playing. I don't know how to describe this. It's not quite an IO. It's kind of a straight shot. But it's the backhand side again. If you don't have it, just don't throw it. I mean, it's not worth it.
Good look at the Rumble down below. A lot at stake. Only a 10-game regular season schedule, Tony.
That's right. Yeah, it's only 10 games. Everyone's pretty valuable to have.
Absolutely. Current right now 2-0 in the Eastern Conference. Of course, the Whitecaps at 1-1, suffering their first league loss in over a year. They ran the table for championship last year, and of course the Rumble also at 1-1. Spinners at 0-2. So I guess in a way you kind of want one team, if you that bubble team, you want one team to run away with the league, right? Similar to what the Whitecaps did last year, and everybody else kind of close enough where you have a chance? I don't know. 10
I
games.
don't know.
What do you do? You want them all 500? Yeah, that's even better scenario, of course. But.
Well, when you look at the NBA right now, the Eastern Conference, like the teams under the seeded are winning all their playoff games right now. So anyway, back up here.
Let's see what the Spinners will do. Yeah.
And a draw play call. This is a good look.
And they'll send it all the way down the field, and that's going to be dangerously batted up in the air. They left it up there. And Ezra had a chance maybe to go get that. We get a foul call maybe back downfield. Yeah, we're going to get another throw out of it.
Wow.
I think.
No.
I don't know.
I think that's the half.
Is it the
quarter?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to be over. The quarter comes to a
well,
close.
as predicted, coming down to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Teams are at each other's throats here. 9-9. No team has really established much really in terms of some lead on the other. And
I know you've been checking out some of those college scores and things.
Yeah.
How has this pro league affected college play or rule changes or strategy changes? Do you see any change in the college game due to this? The invention of this pro league?
Well, we'll get to that in a bit. We're going to come back, go to a break right now. We'll come back and I'll answer that question.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. That's cool.
The Spinners head south to tangle with DC. Can Philly shock the current? Or will Alan Kolek and friends send the Spinners home dizzy? Come out and see May 4th at 5 p.m. The Whitecaps are crashing the Eagles' nest. Can the Rumble keep their heads above water and avenge their Week 1 loss? Come out and see May 3rd at 7 p.m.
All right, welcome right back. Fourth quarter of play upcoming, tied at 9 between the Spinners and the Rumble. We'll see the Rumble, matter of fact, again next week when they take on the Boston Whitecaps. That could be a battle for second place. I guess how it all pans out here this weekend with the Current taking on the Whitecaps and the Rumble, of course, looking for the win here over the Spinners. Take a look at next week's schedule. That's a pretty good one there, Tony.
Yeah, San Francisco rematching Seattle out there. Boston at New York, that's another one. And the Stags get to play San Francisco. They just beat them today, and now they get a home game. So it's a home and away series there as San Francisco is loading up on the preseason. Before we went to break, we talked about college. Well, one thing about college is this Philadelphia team has six guys that are playing right now for the University of Pittsburgh. That are not here right now because they're competing still in college. And one thing about college and the pro league that we see here is that you can play in front of fans, you can play in front of people, your hometown. You can get you can see yourself on TV and on the web. And sometimes in college you don't see that opportunity as much unless you really make it to nationals. And here's a chance for everyone to see what you got.
This is Michael Hennessy, one of the better players on the Rumble. He'll play it on back. A lot of folks have had a chance in recent weeks to see what he has, and he has been terrific. This is Saul now. Saul back to Hennessy.
Facing a stiff wind here.
It really has picked up. I was just looking at the weather forecast online and said no wind at all, but that's a lie. There's a little huck down the marsh. Can he catch up to it? No, it's going to float away elusively and out of his reach.
Well, good put there by Heyman, throwing it up into the wind, giving his receiver a chance. Just a little too far for this speedy Jack Marsh to come down with.
Michael Panna throws it low. Boy, that got away from him, didn't it?
Yeah, no, that was a miscommunication with number 16 there.
Show.
Yeah. Scholl telling him, look, I was going one way. Mazer now, this is a big opportunity for them to hold here on the upwind side nonetheless.
This just took a little hop on Hennessy on the flight of the feed, and he'll throw it up. Look at the wind affect that and just push it out of bounds.
Well, a rare turnover from Mike Hennessy there could be costly. I don't think he was putting it to the deep man there, Gillis. I think he was putting it short, and it just popped up over.
On 8:28 remaining here in the fourth quarter, Michael Banner again came back to the disc this time, and he'll play it into the middle of the field where there's some room for Gabe Colton to the far side. Up ahead, nice catch by Brazzi. Had that terrific catch for a goal back in the first quarter. There goes a huck. It's going to hang up there. Colton trying to find some jumping room. It's going to be easily defended. He was giving up too much height. There was really no chance as Saul able to come up with the interception. He can pass it and he can play some D too, huh?
Yeah, he's an all-around player. You start in high school, you get a lot of skills that way, a lot of skill set. Big up to Gillis. Oh!
And again, floated high. Boy, it's been difficult to connect on those long feeds. That was Lindsay on the coverage defensively. Good work.
Well, Lindsay, a good defender. Good matchup there.
Absolutely.
And I think Gillis thought he had to go up early for that with Lindsay on his back, and good play by Lindsay.
Some nonstop action here. 7:29 remaining in the fourth quarter. We are tied at 9. Lindsay showing he can come up with a nice grab there.
Saul tries to climb over his back, but Lindsay too tall.
Panna, Brazzi, Lindsay. Patrick takes a look, and he'll feed it on back. The spinner's trying to use that short passing attack to open up some lanes. Let's see when they spring a cutter downfield. Nothing going on yet.
Well, they've shown them when they do, they've been turnovers. So
Lindsay,
this is another risky one.
A little jump ball. This time he'll come up with a catch. Gillis tried to go up and bat it away. Nice catch by Lindsay for the score.
Wow, well, great job by Philadelphia. I mean, a lot of turnovers going on there. The wind advantage, Philadelphia's. New York unable to really punch it in the upwind side here. And the game on serve for Philadelphia now. Just pop up into the air. Gillis goes back a little too far. You know, maybe he read that a little wrong. Tough to say, though. Lindsay had position on him. Lindsay makes a great play.
Coach Bill Maroon got to be pleased with that. That is vintage spinner offense right there.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah. You know what he told me about the red zone offense? He's like, if we don't turn it over, we're going to get in the end zone eventually. That was his solution to the red zone problems that were plaguing the team in last week's game at New York.
See, coaches with common sense. That's why.
Yeah.
Comes up with
if you don't turn it
like
over,
that, right?
Eventually you're going to score. I'd buy that.
I'll buy it too.
He's the coach.
Absolutely. He was dressed gritty today, too. He wanted a gritty performance from his team. He's going to need one. This is Faust. Some shouts of defense.
Well,
like
nice switch in the back there. You might not see it on the screen there, but Faust had a man go deep, but then a switch by Philadelphia prevented that look from being there. Right now, same thing. He's trying to get some spacing. But Philly's smart defense here.
Mazer tried to squeeze one through to Kosmowitz, and they turn it over to the Spinners.
Well, again, that's the switching. That was a switch back. That was a guy coming off of a handler and going back into the middle of the field there to gum up the host stack from New York. And Mazer still hasn't found his form.
Let's see now with Paparone, feed to the far sideline. Spinners looking for a 2-goal lead with down under 6 minutes left, and they throw it a little too high. Paparone couldn't come up with it. And actually, that was Zumbrum who had the chance.
Well, this is getting close. This is 5:40 left in the game here. It's a 10-9 score. Big, heavy win here. A score from Philadelphia could really be difficult for New York to overcome with this wind advantage. This is a little too far. No!
Plays it up ahead. That's a great catch. Boy.
Ease goes down for it.
Indeed it was Ease. Gotta love that catch by Ease.
We got a little body contact here. The sideline referee calls it. And they'll walk it up. But Herman with the disc. Jake Herman, who played with Philadelphia for a number of years.
Mazer. Good reverse out to the left. Bosco. He's going to have to hurry something up here, and he'll find an open player Mowitz on the receiving end for the score. It's his first of the game. That'll tie things at 10.
Well, that was exciting. Got a little crazy there for a moment. Philly put one up there. They had their man. Just the wind kind of sailed that one away. And Deviney not able to come down with that. Here's the big catch from Iggy. Iggy goes down with 2 hands. Nice pickup.
Boy,
beautifully well done. Way to hold on to that disc.
Absolutely.
Well, his high school coach has got to be proud there and watching him today here in the stands.
So that Knott's has scored 10, 4:58 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Some outstanding play now by both these teams in the fourth. They've traded goals, one at 3:10 by Philly. And the response by New York at 5:02.
Do we talk about the Puma jerseys yet? I really like these Puma. There's the break mark hats.
I have a gift certificate to the Puma
Oh, here's
store.
one. Spike Ball. Spike Ball is the, well, they're here. Buy Spike Ball sets here on the side. We'll get to that in a minute.
All right, spinners now, McClellan. He is expected to do some big things for the Spinners. He wears number 71, cutting downfield. Oh, look at that little feed up ahead. Good catch here by Vinny.
Waldo with Jonathan Cox there with the bid. Tried to bait that one. Just nice pickup by Philadelphia. Whoa, this is tough. This is tough.
Look at that. He'll feed it up there. That's going to be knocked away. The defense just too solid by the Rumble. It was knocked away by number 13.
Well,
there he is, Hunzinger.
This is ultimate fundamentals here. Trapped on the sideline. Get it off the sideline. He had a short area to work with. He tried to punch it in. Not much he could do there. It was McClellan, I believe. Unfortunate because it looked like there was space there. Uh-oh, this could be tough. Oh, Murphy with the grab.
It was Hunziker who made that nice play again. As you mentioned, he does a lot of nice things for the Rumble.
Oh, here he is, though. Here's the question mark. He has the disc in his hand. And a completed pass.
Yeah. He made the simple pass.
Yes.
That time.
Hold your breath, folks.
Absolutely. This is Hennessy, Matt Hennessy. Matt going to have to reverse it on back.
This is a big possession. There's 3 minutes left. It's an upwind break opportunity for New York. Can't get any bigger.
Looking it smartly down the field. Anderson, and he played it too long.
Oh, he sailed it. Joe Anderson had his man, Jonathan Cox, there. Put a little too much mustard on it. He did. Yeah, he hurried it. Well, a big opportunity wasted from New York. And now Philadelphia will have the disc again, going downwind. 3 minutes left.
David Baer will start the play. Good look at David. Like the boxers coming out and touching gloves before the big round. A little touch of the disc there to get it all going. Some of the nuances of this game. Oh, it's a dangerous throw.
Whoa.
Nice catch by Rainwater. A couple of goals today.
Well, and New York's getting all over the place on D. They really are scrambling to every disc.
And that on the far side.
But Philly playing well.
And that back to Cats and back. Bear. Yeah, they're showing a little rhythm here offensively.
Oh, Johnny cursed him.
Yeah, I did curse him. He was running out of time. He just kind of frantically threw it away. This is Sender. You know, Sender got into that passing lane. He did a nice job defensively. There's a little squeeze. A little hammer. Haven't seen many hammer tosses today.
It's a nice throw into the wind.
It was.
Not easy.
Rumble trying to get it going. Up ahead. Nice catch. Touchdown by Murphy.
Murphy's looking for the goal, and he
he'll
gets
find it. Number 10, Matt Hennessy on the receiving end.
Wow, a huge upwind score for New York with 2 minutes left in the game. Could that be the one that seals the deal? Philadelphia's going to have a chance to answer, but they also have to face this wind here now. And even if they do score, that will probably give New York time enough to go down the field the simple way and close this game out. So a break near the end of the game could be huge for this team.
How about the patience of Lucas Murphy waiting for the cutter to get open there, and he found Matt Hennessy.
A little scary because the stall count of 7 that got up there. Now, in the Club Ultimate, you play in the fall, and Mixed, you play in the summer, counts up to 10, so you got plenty of time to look for that man. Stall count of 7 here, and he's waiting for his open cut in the end zone. A little riskier. But he gets the goal after Bayer couldn't find his man down here. The defense for New York really looked impressive at that point.
8:07 time of that score. 1:53 remaining. Rumble have scored the last two of this game to take the lead at 11-10.
Let's see what kind of D-line. Let's see what kind of A-line Philly needs. It absolutely has to have a score out here. Got Pana, Peters.
That's
Shull.
Feathered it up nicely there to Sheridan. They're going to try to strike. Rozzi with a feed. That's Peters towards the end zone, and they'll strike and score.
Oh, well done play from Philadelphia. What a sequence right there. They ran it right up the field with confidence. They've had perfect passes, pinpoint precision, and boom, Chow with the goal.
Yeah, Chow, great job to get open in the end zone. That's his first goal, second goal of the game for Leon Chow. That was great work.
Well, New York was coming off a long point defensively. Their D team just scored that last point, and maybe that transition really caught them. The O team here that Billy Maroon put out in the field, smartly done. He got some of his D players out there. They moved it just quickly, fast, boom, score. Way to get that right back, take the momentum back. Now the pressure is on New York.
We didn't take them long, 16 seconds of scoreboard time to knot it back up at 11.
Coming down to a great game here again. Minute and a half left.
Great
now
for the
New York's
sport,
time.
too, isn't it? See these games coming down to the wire. That one has rolled along.
Nice little scooch by Muck there to stop the roll.
Absolutely. That should be like a fumble in football if the defense gets to it. It's a disc. Why not, right? Like an onside kick, yeah. Big possession here. This is Hennessy. Down to 1:21 left. They want to take some time off that clock. Mazer with a fake. Back to Hennessy near side. Mazer trying to scramble
He's
to get
getting
open.
bodied up. I mean,
Absolutely.
he's getting held every time he makes a cut.
Up ahead to
Vukovic
Vukovic.
has him. No. Oh, there's a poacher.
Oh, that's some D on the far side. Wow.
The way to bait that one is Matt Esser.
Esser's had himself a game here today. And we'll get a timeout with 55 seconds left, and the Spinners with a chance to take the lead in a tie game.
Well, we saw that one from here. He's got the run. Mazer looks like he's open, but he's got a man coming off his man, and that's Esser coming through for the clean D.
He used his right hand there, his lead hand, and knocked that away.
So with the timeout here, this is New York's D-line on. They're going to need it. But more importantly, Philadelphia's offense is going to be on the field here with a chance to really seal this game.
Gabe Colton has an assist on the field. It'll be interesting to see who will come out for Billy Maroon here. Looking for their first win of the year. Looks like Art Shaw will be out there. McClellan will be another.
See what kind of nerves they might have. They did not look good on the possession two prior to this, going this direction. They looked great just prior to this when they moved it up nicely.
There's the guys out there. Yep.
Confidence. There's Paul Manetti walking
Yep.
across. He's a good O coach for them. There's Billy Maroon in the huddle with them.
Sheridan, Bayer, Katzenbach, Hairnet.
Esser will
Rainwater.
stay on the field. No surprise there. Number 11, who's been a real rock for them this season. He's who we talked to at the beginning of the game.
That's right.
He's proving himself on the field during the game.
53 ticks remaining. Nick Hairnet will start the play. He's going to be guarded by Jake Herman. Herman's going to back off him a little.
Well, it's a vertical stack. One man dump about 10 yards back. So they're going to be looking to Katzenbach. They're going to look to isolate Katzenbach in the middle, and they are going to.
Hairnet, Sheridan made a nice catch, had to reach behind him.
Little body.
And we get another whistle.
Oh, it's a one
yeah.
of the sponsor signs.
Yeah,
Came
blowing
on
onto the
Good
field.
call from the ref there. Get that off the field.
45 ticks remaining. Well, that helps out the Rumble a little bit. They can reset their defense.
Let's see if this discombobulates Philadelphia at all.
Rainwater, Hairnet made the catch. How tightly he's defended. Back to Rainwater along that far left side. He'll go to the middle of the field. Yes, sir. Oh, low throw.
Oh.
Nice catch there by Katzenbach. Hairnet takes a look deep. Nothing going on. Down to 23 seconds remaining.
So this is for the game.
Hairnet. Nice catch again by Rainwater. He wants to be the best in this game. He told me that a couple years ago. Up the Bear now, near side. Is that Bear? Couldn't pick up the number. Hairnet can't make the catch, and they turn it over. Down to 6 seconds left in the Rumble with a chance.
Oh,
we'll
timeout
get a
call, I want to
whistle.
say. I think that's a timeout call. That would be the only explanation I could think of. Yes, timeout New York. So they're going to reset this clock back here. Banerjee, I don't know if he even gets a chance to pick it up, but they should put it back to 10, 11 seconds, something like that. We're looking at the replay, is looking up at the clock man's looking up to try to get the signal.
That just floated away from Hairnet, from Nick, just ever so slightly.
Could we be going into another overtime?
It looks it.
Triple overtime left over from last week. These teams do not want to stop playing. That's all there is to it. They're like, New York, Philly, why don't we just hang out for a little bit? You know, the Rangers are in town. They were in town. Now Philadelphia is going to go back to New York, the Flyers. Why not continue it here on the ultimate pitch?
Well, with this wind directly into the face of the Rumble as they try to advance downfield here in the waning seconds, can they get anything done offensively in that wind? That's going to be difficult.
7.5 seconds are coming back on, or total, and this many yards, this wind, no. So the key here is just don't give the disc back to Philly, because it's a lot easier for them to score than it is for New York. I mean, there is one chance, Don, which is you center it, and then you huck it from there. You know, kind of like we saw in D.C. last week. You can get that throw off, but the wind is a factor and the distance is a factor. So it's got to be one quick throw center and then a huck.
And a very strong huck. Got to edge it through, don't you? You can't just kind of float it through. You got to kind of.
The Innova Pulsar discs are nice. They're very stable. They'll hold up in the wind, so you don't have to edge it too much. But what you have to do is not turn it over.
Rumble will go to the middle of the field.
Nice
Anderson
catch.
made the catch.
No.
And the horn will sound off. It's going to be batted around and knocked on down. Last to touch it was Matthew Paparone. And we're going overtime.
Little tip drill there started there. Overtime. Here we come. Triple overtime, I like to call it, when the last time these two teams met, they went to sudden death in the second overtime. Wow, great game.
Absolutely. They each score a goal in the fourth. New York and Philadelphia tied at 11. We'll be back with the overtime right here on MLU Live.
Evan Boucher is leading the Dogfish North to go head-to-head with Mark Burton and the Stags. Come out and see who reigns supreme in this battle of the beasts. May 3rd at 3 p.m. Evan Boucher and Danny Tridiak face off in a battle of two of the league's best throwers. Come see as the Dogfish take on the Rainmakers. May 4th at 1 p.m.
All right, good look at the Spinners down below as we head to overtime. The Rumble and the Spinners tied at 11. 22 goals between the two teams through regulation play, Tony. Overtime, and then after one overtime period, if it remains tied, they'll go to sudden death to decide a winner in this one. So there you go.
Can you guys hear that wind? All I hear is wind blowing in.
Yeah, it's a lot of wind out there right now.
If you're out there listening, you'll hear it too. So, yes, we got 5 minutes of overtime here. Disc flip here to determine who gets the pull. Looks like New York has the wind advantage. Now, this is interesting. If the wind is this fierce, oftentimes it doesn't matter the O or the D. It just matters who gets the win side, and New York has the win side. We see Philadelphia right here walking down to our right, the right of your screen. That is facing the wind. So certainly an advantage here right away in the first overtime, even though New York is pulling down to Philadelphia. So Philadelphia will start with the disc, but they're facing the wind.
And you would imagine that they'll start from deep in their own end to perhaps the end zone.
Yeah, that's true. This is an opportunity for New York to really sail one down there to pin Philadelphia as far back as they can.
Mazur's been handling the majority of the pulls today, and he will handle this one in overtime for the Rumble.
I got Banerjee out there, Jonathan Cox, Jack Marsh, Joe Anderson. Hunziker, of course, has to be out there, and he is. And somebody is wearing Kevin Riley's shirt, but it's not Kevin Riley. That might have been Wilson, 27.
Here we go. Underway in the overtime. That puck, should say pull, will just kind of
nice
roll right through the rather startled Ben Sheridan.
Well, here we go, folks.
Line.
Here we go. Pinned at the back line. What can Philadelphia do? They're going to have to move it quickly. They're going to have to play it smart.
Cats and back. They went on the lay-out D right there to try to knock it away. Sheridan, feed, Bear. Got to get it about 2 yards upfield to get it out of the end zone there. Forces it back to Hairnet. Hairnet along the back edge. Up to Bear. Good feed along. A nice catch there by Easer.
Well, they've cleared the end zone. This is good. They have a lot of yardage to work with.
Tell you what, it took them about 4 or 5 passes. There's a long huck. Catching back down the field. The Sheridan. Wow. Didn't think he could do that in that wind. And Katzenbach, a cagey veteran, understanding the dynamics of it all, made that beautiful throw. And they don't score. And with Rainwater, who made the catch, and now he'll feed it in, and the Spinners will take the lead.
Wow,
Sheridan.
what an offense from Philadelphia. They had 20 yards of end zone to work with, 90 yards of field. I've got that all wrong. They had tons of yards to have to get upfield with, and they did. Huge from Trey Katzenbach to loft that forehand to a wide open man deep. No worries with the wind. Sliced it right through. I liked it. I think that by them moving fast down here in this end zone, Don, it really got their system going and nice pacing. And their offense has never looked better.
Absolutely. And you know what? That throw by Katzenbach, he understood the wind had died down a little bit.
Yeah, he caught advantage of it, sure.
Absolutely, took advantage. He felt it down the field.
The crowd really responded to that, and as well they should.
Still plenty of time remaining in this overtime, 4:10 remaining. But the Rumble now will have to go into that wind that you were talking of. That's Peters on the pull. Out of play to the near side.
Well, the out of bounds pull is a real factor here. That will bring the disc to midfield.
Actually, I think with that new rule change, they put it from the spot where it went out, right? They play it from the spot it went out.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
So he brings it up to midfield and the spot where it went out.
This is Mazur.
This is one of the host stacks. This is an isolation host stack with a man in the middle, and that's Vukovic.
Gillis. Rumble down by 1. This is Faust. Gave him a little space to work with. Hennessy. That's Michael Hennessy outright. Faust again. Back to Hennessy, and he throws it low, and they turn it over to the Spinners. That wind knocked it down, perhaps.
Yeah, it's a... Oh.
Well, turns it right back. Rumble will try to strike quickly. Oh, they can't dig it from the turf. Ken Hennessy on the feed. They turn it right back. Oh, both teams showing a lack of patience that time.
Saul tried to lay one up there, and the spin got Hennessy.
Whoops.
Turned around, another drop. Chow can't hang on. Short field advantage for New York. This is an upwind. Well, the wind just switched on. Did you see
Absolutely.
that?
It's
a little
crazy.
downwind now.
Absolutely. This is Mazur. The fake, and that's knocked down by the defense of Brazi. Mazur claiming that he didn't have enough space, perhaps. Right
Mazur
there.
really looking for the call there. Could have been a foot block. Whether it was clean or not, we don't know. Doesn't matter. It's a turnover in the red zone.
2:49 left. It's going
Another
to sail,
turnover.
and it's going to be knocked down between players. And we may get a call here against the Rumble. Indeed, we will, and the Spinners maintain possession.
Wow. I thought that was clean.
I did too.
It's getting a little crazy out here.
Colton, short pass. Brazi. Oh, he'll loft
this
a
should be a
crazy
turnover.
pass up. And
No!
look at that coming back to it. Big play by Paparone. Keep it alive for the Spinners, and now that's out of the reach of
It's like hot
Panza.
potato.
It is. Just above 2 remaining.
I mean, someone should just pick it up and spike it.
12-11 your score. Spinners in the blue uniforms on top of the Rumble.
Still a huge opportunity for New York. Can they get it? They do.
They do. That was a good, strong throw by David Vukovic in for the score. Boy, do they need that to tie it.
Well, after all the emotion, Philly just kind of ran out of gas there. They made some fantastic plays to keep that disc alive. Some great Ds, just were everywhere. And then when that last turn happened, they just didn't have anything left there.
Gillis with a catch for the score to tie things up with 2 minutes remaining in the overtime.
Look at this play here by Paparone as he lays out. And there's the goal shot from Vukovic. That's tough to catch, though. If that just comes in that fast
right,
and hard,
yeah.
with that wind. Faust looks like made it look easy, but that's not an easy catch. You can see everyone bobbling the disc. These guys have been playing Ultimate for 15, 20 years. They don't just drop disc like that. You need some serious wind, some crazy spins on the disc, and that's what we've been seeing there.
Need some
in those
crazy
drops.
fans just like that, too, holding up a sign into that solid wind. Going to hang up there a little bit.
Well, so once again, Philadelphia showed no problems last time moving it up against the wind, and now they actually have the wind at their backs. So, but the wind's a little crosswindy, the best way to describe it.
Bayer. They didn't handle it too well going the other way when they could have iced this game a bit. This is up for Rainwater. Catching back there, too. It floats and floats. It's going to be batted away. Defensively, Matt Hennessy doing the job for the Rumble, and they get a chance now with 97 seconds left to take the lead.
Again, a nice read by Hennessy. He goes right to where the disc is coming down. He reads it a little bit better there than Katzenbach and Rainwater. But this is trouble here, facing a little bit of this crosswind for the defensive line for New York.
That's Murphy, the Cox, and up ahead here they come on the attack again.
Unzicker, watch out.
Now it's back to Hennessy, to the middle of the field. That's Marsh. Will hang one up there. Kind of like a punt downfield with a minute left. It's tipped, and it's going to be caught on the intercept by Deviney. And Deviney will sail one the other way and turn it right back to the Rumble. Kind of a crazy pace of this overtime, Tony. It's gone nuts out there.
2 opportunities there for Anderson. He goes up. The disc just retains its stable flight there. On the tip, normally you'd think the edge would get it and drive it down. Timeout call, but from New York, smart timeout call. And Anderson played for that. Instead, it stayed up a little bit too high, and he couldn't quite get up for it. Hunziker was there, too. Watch this.
Yeah, smash.
Joe gets the first one. Oh, pops up over his head. And Esser is there to not bat it away finally. So Esser should be credited with kind of like in hockey, like an assist D.
Absolutely. Esser's had a couple of big assist Ds tonight.
Yeah,
hasn't
great
he?
player.
So the timeout, good look at the Spinners. They're going to have to talk some defense. Rumble with a chance here to perhaps regain the lead in the final 49 seconds of overtime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more right here on MLU Live.
See May 3rd at 7 p.m.
All right, right back here in beautiful Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. Fourth quarter, actually the overtime continues, tied at 12 here between the Rumble and the Spinners. Rumble in the green. They control the disc in the final 38 seconds of play. And some layout defense on the far side by Panna. Will intercept, and the Spinners with a chance to cash in. Brazi along the sideline. Right now the Rumble using that as a defensive helper. And we get a timeout call by the Spinners with 25.8 seconds left. I like that timeout call right there.
Well, I like both of them, but New York, terrible coming out of the timeout. They did get what they wanted, which is the other side of the field, but unable to get a complete pass out of that side of it. 25 seconds left now for Philadelphia to seal the game here. Here it is. Marsh lays it up. Thought he has a man, but Mike Panna is there.
Michael playing at a high level on that one.
Panna, we haven't called a lot today, but he's been there a lot. I would love to see the stats at the end of the game. How many D's Panna's got? He's a top player.
You know that standing stuff we were talking about earlier. Last report, Whitecaps leading the current, right? When
15-10 is what we heard. Yeah,
things will be kind of bunched together here. The Spinners pull off a victory.
Well, it's still early in the season, but 25 seconds left here. So what do you call here? You're on the sideline. The wind's kind of going everywhere. Now the wind's dying down. The wind's up. The wind's down. I think you just go with your best kind of play and ignore the wind. You get your OL line on here. Let's see. They got out there Katzenbach, of course, Bear. I'm assuming we'll see Hironette out there.
I want Katzenbach to deliver that throw to the end zone, out of the red zone, I guess you'd call it. So Billy Maroon's been working at this part of the game, this phase of the game, right?
That's right.
An entire practice for this moment right here.
Absolutely. This is it. Stop disc. They got a vertical stack, a lot of space they're creating. Hironette there is the dump position, bouncing back and forth on the balls at his feet, trying to find a good angle as Mazer is guarding him.
Bayer's going to start the play. Needs a good pass here. He got to hurry it up, and he got it to his teammate, Sheridan. And that feed, nice catch here to the near side. Little stumble and a bumble, but held on to.
Esser and
by
Hunsaker
Esser.
there.
Oh, that D will break it up.
9 seconds left. Mazer is going to put it.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
a little short, though.
Yeah.
One more pass, maybe?
Nope.
3
Gonna
seconds
turn it
left.
right back.
No.
Turning the rugby out there for a second. That thing was elusive. And I don't know if we're getting a timeout with a half-second left here or what's going on.
No team has timeouts left, so it's definitely
That's
not
right.
bad. I think the discussion
Maroon
is
upset about
where
something.
the disc stopped and the Rumble player running around with it there like rugby, like you said. Crowd not happy with it. What, a Philadelphia crowd booing?
That's unreasonable.
I think that's legit. He just knocks it down.
Yeah.
He picks it. I think he's going to inspect the disc to make sure it's regulation.
Not oblong.
And it is a disc. So we're going into sudden death, I believe. Is that right?
I guess we are. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with all that.
Wow,
the Rumble.
twice in a row here. 2 weeks in a row, these two teams going at it. Who's going to come out on top this time?
We'll
Stay tuned.
find out.
Evan Boucher is leading the Dogfish North to go head-to-head with Mark Burton and the Stags. Come out and see who reigns supreme in this Battle of the Beasts. May 3rd at 3 p.m. Evan Boucher and Danny Tridiak face off in a battle of two of the league's best throwers. Come see as the Dogfish take on the Rainmakers. May 4th at 1 p.m.
All right, good look at the Rumble across the way as we move into the second overtime period. The Rumble in Philadelphia. The Spinners tied at 12. Spinners trying to win their first of the year. Rumble trying to win their second in a row.
Here we are at what we in the ultimate world called Universe Point, although it's called Double Game Point. And in soccer, you might call it Golden Goal.
I like that.
So the first team to score here will win this game.
Yeah, why sudden death? That's kind of, kind of just sad and.
Now it's awesome. I love it. But you gotta. Come on, everything's on the line here.
No, I mean the terminology.
The terminology.
Sudden death.
Oh,
I
I
like
thought
golden
you
goal.
were disappointed
nice.
with the
right, exactly. That's
the
much
actual
more positive.
Yeah,
Right. Sudden death. Well, you're kind of promoting the loser there a little bit, right?
Sure. You should get into the etymology of the word, the phrase.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Point well taken.
All right, let's see what the Spinners can do. Let's see what the Rumble can do here in this situation. Last week, obviously, the Rumble coming up with the golden goal.
Well, ultimate, you know how we love to call our sport the best sport ever, the greatest sport ever invented by man.
Right,
in fact,
exactly.
Uses the term universe goal.
I like that.
Yeah, universe point.
Yeah.
Very often because it's the biggest point in the universe.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And also, you're supposed to put the best. So you want to put your universe line on. So who's the guys you want on the field right now for the biggest point in the universe? And let's look at them right now. Joe Anderson, Quinn Hunziker, get him out there everywhere with Jonathan Cox. Looks like they're going to be on D. They're going to be pulling because we're looking at the New York guys. Here's on O, Eddie Peters with the disc. Sheridan, Michael Panna, who's been playing excellent today. Matt Esser, who's been excellent today, number 11. 32 is Sheridan when we called his name. They have this is curious to me, Don. We just saw New York's key D players out there. Cox, Hunziker, Anderson. Those guys are all D players. But it looks like they're going to be receiving the disc. So Faust, Mazer, Marsh, and Hennessy are really the keys here because those are the offense players that are out there. So they put the D-line on and their O-line. They mixed it up.
A little bit of that offense-defense we were talking about. You got to be able to do it both ways, and particularly here in overtime. This is Alex Peters with a pull, and he'll loft that high. That's a great pull considering the conditions all the way into the end zone.
Nice pickup from Hennessy there.
Yes, he's got some quick hands. Let's see what the Rumble will do. Mazer kind of waited. Really lost his pivot foot there. Hennessy back to Mazer. It's down low. Had to go get it. Shouts of defense. Overtime. No clock.
New York looking for its spots. Switchy D from Philadelphia again. They've gotten D's from this before. Oh, there's a call finally.
Yep.
Marsh kind of drew that one on Esser with the Mohawk there. That's good. They'll need that yardage.
Absolutely. Esser's not going to give him much space.
Uh-oh.
That's laid out there. Nice running catch.
Oh,
and
Hennessy's
now
going
they'll
to put
send
this
it down. And that's
could
going to
be the game.
On the money. No, he can't come up with it. Jonathan Cox was alone in the end zone. My, oh, my. And they turn it over to the Spinners. You think he began the celebration a little too soon. Wow.
Wow. Unfortunate for New York. Big downfield here. Hennessy's going to close fast.
That's Chow.
Clean, they call it. No call on that. Little body there. Chow can't get to it. And New York will have another opportunity after Cox couldn't come down with it. Looked like his left hand hit his right hand when Cox went up for that disc. He should have had that goal, though.
How about the ground that Hennessy just made up? You're right. He should have had that one. Absolutely. This is Faust to the near side now.
Well, they like to keep it exciting here in New York
they
and
do,
Philadelphia.
There's a loose disc to the sideline off of number 22, Jack Martian, out of play, and it's back to the Spinners here. This will be Panna to put it in play here to the near side, Michael Panna.
Remember, whoever scores here wins the game. I say that like it's
Panna's going to sail
like
one.
it's some kind of revelation, but the way these guys are playing, well, this is tough. Great put there we saw earlier to Cox there. Couldn't come down with it. Panna there, miscommunication with his offensive player. It looks like his cutter, Chow maybe.
Went in, instead out.
Yeah, he tried to thread it down there, and his player had cut back already. So Mazer will get the disc up here on the line. Cox is cutting under for it, but won't get it.
Hennessy. Time ticking. Now it's back. Mazer. Oh, that's going to be dangerous. Panna has an angle on it. Just couldn't be outfoxed. Good play. Rumble working that far side with Marsh.
Crowd holding its breath right now.
Reverse it to the near side. Jonathan Cox. He'll play it low, and they turn it over, intended for Anderson. And Big Joe couldn't dig it off the turf.
Cox is having some trouble in this game here.
Peters will loft one. Brazzi open. Can he make the catch? Score!
That's the game, folks. Alex Peters to Frederick Brazzi. Philadelphia gets its first win in quite a time. 1-0. They knock off New York Rumble here at home for them, Colonial Stadium in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. Wow, what a finish.
And the Spinners win their first game in a long, long time. And, boy, do they feel good about that. Peters being congratulated here to the near side, and deservedly so. Spinners will win it in overtime, 13-12. We'll take a break. We'll be back with our postgame. Let's see that one more time before we go to break here. It is worth it, folks. Great play.
Well, here's the one Jonathan should have had to begin with. His one hand knocked away from his other. Nice sky there from Banerjee. And Peters just sails this one. Boom. Lofts it up. He's got an open man. And he collects the goal for the game winner. That's the sweetest one of all.
Frederick Brazzi with his catch to win it off the feed from Peters. Well done. We'll take a break. We'll be back with our post-game comments right after these messages.
The Spinners head south to tangle with DC. Can Philly shock the current? Or will Alan Kolek and friends send the Spinners home dizzy? Come out and see May 4th at 5 p.m. The Whitecaps are crashing the Eagles' nest. Can the Rumble keep their heads above water and avenge their Week 1 loss? Come out and see May 3rd at 7 p.m.
Oh, what a finish to tonight's game. One of the reasons why Alex Peters down below is he threw the winning toss to the end zone, giving the Spinners their first win of the year, 13-12. He's alongside Charisma McElwain, and take it away, Charisma.
Oh, he's walking away. He's so excited he doesn't even want to talk to me, but I got him to come back. So, Alex, you threw the game-winning play. Can you walk us through that last play and what it was like for you out there?
It was long points. We were a little tired. We aren't specifically trying to throw it deep, but there was actually quite a lot of wind going downwind, so we just want to make sure that if we had a look, it was downfield and not backwards.
Okay. How does it feel to walk away with a win? You played the Rumble last week. You're back this week. You're home, and you walked away with a win. How does it feel?
I mean, it feels great. All 3 games we've had the disc to win or tie at the end of the game, and we finally pull it in. Like, that's what we need moving forward.
And this is, considering that it is kind of a low score, considering how much you guys normally score in a game. But given that, what do you think is the winning factor for you? What do you think gave you guys the edge to win today?
We just needed it. We needed this win. So everyone is on the same page. Just got it out and get it, no matter how you can get it.
All right, there you have it. Get it however you can get it. I'll send it back up to you guys. Congratulations.
All right, great work, Charisma, down below with one of the stars of the game, Alex Peters, throwing that winning toss into the end zone for the score. Plenty of highlights to talk about in this low-scoring game, Tony. But first and foremost for the Spinners, a big win.
Huge win.
And they're back into the fray.
Huge win. I mean, just a confidence builder. You heard Alex talk right there. They've been close every game, had the disc to win, not able to put it in. This time, they're able to put it in.
And I thought we saw some vintage Spinner play from a couple years ago in this game where they worked it down the field with a lot of authority.
Vintage age and vintage material. Trey Gadsden back there, old school player.
Like a fine wine.
This game started in the daytime? I don't really remember
I guess it did.
Some highlights of the game here as we see a lot of great Ds all over the place. There's one from Jack Casey on Vukovic going on. Nice box out here, but collecting up high there is New York.
Yeah, Lindsay was looking for a foul call on that one, wasn't he?
He's going to hold up, and that was Anderson had a chance at it. Ran into his own guy, Saul. Downfield there, Rainwater too big. Too big.
He had 2 big goals in this game, did Rainwater, to keep the Spinners in it.
Chow with the D. Hirnet laces one downfield. Let's see where this one's going to go. Hunziker gets it. Jonathan Cox, but Hirnet made a great play on that one, just leaping. Cox trying to get it back, unable to, against the big man.
Rainwater, one of his 2 goals.
Big sky from Hunziker there. Wilson with the throw. Hunziker, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Oh, that was Bayer defense, wasn't it? That was great.
Yep. They really threw his body out there on that one. Saul. Popped up in the air. Lindsay gets positioned nicely.
Lindsay had a strong game today to reflect upon this performance by the spinner. It was Saul.
Iggy E's going down for it. I love that play right there. Another D from Hunsker there, adding to his. Now he's got 5 Ds as far as I can tell for the Rumble. Probably leads the team now. They had 2 players with 4.
This one play got a little crazy.
I mean, it's kind of fun to watch when there's this much wind because you just don't know where that disc is going to go. Oh, and here's the end. Oh, man. He does not want to see that one again.
Jonathan Cox.
Nobody wants to see that one again.
How about this throw by Peters for the win?
Yeah, he put a nice touch on that. Really sent that one nicely. And there you have it.
So the Spinners will win this one in exciting fashion in overtime. The final score will be 13-12 as the Spinners improve to 1-2 on the year, and the Rumble will drop to 1-2. So they're all knotted up. Of course, we'll have the Rumble in action against the Whitecaps next week.
Yeah, stay with us next week as the Rumble try to get back on track with a tough home game against the Boston Whitecaps.
Whitecaps finding their stride again as they come back. It looks like they're going to beat, if they haven't already, beaten D.C. Current in Boston earlier today. Well, great job by the entire crew, and certainly appreciate working with you again, Tony.
Don,
as always.
Yep.
And the crew behind the scenes, too many to mention.
Greg,
doing
Matt,
great work.
and
Absolutely.
Panapacker
Love it
here.
all. All right, that's going to do it right here from Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. We say goodbye, everybody.